the Jeff Meacham Network's Multiverse of Media. For over 15 years, the recognized symbol of excellence and the standard bearer in coverage of sports and entertainment. We are live, ladies and gentlemen. We're kind of scrambling here to get everything going. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Raw is Owen show. I'm going to bring Walter in first, and I think I may have to bring in Noah, but we are live, so pardon us for the haphazard beginning here. We were scrambling to actually try to be able to do this tonight, so here we go. And Walter, if you could commentate what is going on screen while I send him this link, because clearly he did not receive the link somehow.
All right. Well, first of all, welcome everyone on the Multiverse of Media. This is Jeff Meacham Network's coverage as we go back in time 25 years to the Monday Night Raw following Over the Edge. This was May 24th of 1999. Monday Night Raw, as we start off with JR. Welcome everybody to St. Louis, and we get the 10-bell salute, and they have the entire roster out on the ramp now as Howard Finkel tells everybody to join them in a moment of ringing the 10-bell salute for Owen Hart.
You know what's crazy about this, as we wait for Noah to actually come in to be a part of the stream, is I was 3 when this went down.
I was 16. Yeah.
You were definitely older than I am. And with that said, here is Noah Foster as we salute the 10 bells here for Owen Hart. Owen, do you see the thing fine?
Yeah, I can see it fine.
Okay, is everything good on your end, Noah?
I'm loading in right now, and yes, I can see everything and hear everything as they told the bell 10 times. And here we see the McMahon family. We see Linda, Vince. We see WWF superstars, staff, personnel, someone that looks like John Lennon. We see good old Jim Ross and Jerry the King Lawler standing and applauding as we gather.
Stephanie looks like a baby there, huh, Noah?
Yeah, right.
All right, gentlemen, you have a good call. I will be in the green room while you guys do your thing.
Sounds good. As we now look towards this tribute to Owen Hart. And again, folks, welcome to part 2 of this Jeff Meacham Network Multiverse of Media Retro Watch-Along event as we honor the late and great Owen Hart, the Rocket, the Blue Blazer, the King of Harts, the one that beat the best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be, former Intercontinental Champion, many say an uncrowned WWF Champion, taken away before the peak of his career and his time. I am, of course, the Superman Noah Foster alongside Walter Cruz. As right now we listen to this video package here. Slammy Award winning, by the way, Owen Hart, member of the Hart Foundation. But as a friend, a mentor, a brother. One of the very first nights in the business, Walter, honestly, to Mayo's point, that kayfabe was non-existent.
Yeah, they broke kayfabe for the first time. I don't, and a couple years before this, Brian Pillman passed away, but they didn't do a Tell Ben salute. There was no Brian Pillman's Raw, so this was really the first one that they did.
And of course, this followed a trend of many great tribute shows honoring the fallen, including about limited to Eddie Guerrero and Bray Wyatt.
And it's a shame that it had to be a trend.
1965 to 1999. Thank you, Owen.
Just want to also say, for anybody that was expecting JJ during this show, as the fans are getting very emotional along with the wrestlers that were there, JJ will be here momentarily. He is literally coming back from priorities, so he will be here when he can be here. So If anybody was asking right off the bat, there you go.
Thank you for that announcement, James. Male and female WWF superstars and multiple fans showing their respect.
Yeah, the entire roster out there. Mark Henry. Now that we go into JR and King as they welcome everybody to St. Louis.
And to your point, first broadcast of its own kind ever in the world of sports entertainment. The celebration of a life of Owen Hart. We got 10 very unique matchups. We're going to get
Imagine what was going
and real sentiments of many people here.
Imagine what was going through their mind to try to perform after that night. I mean, most of them were the same people that actually did it during the pay-per-view, so they were able to pull it off. So to let 24 hours pass and to let it sink in, sometimes it's even worse than in the moment.
To your point, one of the most emotionally charismatic, caring, and total individuals of the business, Mick Foley, kicking things off here with his thoughts. Talking about how his son loved Owen. Calling him Nugget.
Is that Dewey? I think his son's name is, right?
I believe so.
One of the things that Mick Foley says that strikes me is that he was Dewey's favorite wrestler was Owen Hart. So that had to really, really hit him hard, considering how young he would have been at the time.
And considering he would grow up to want to be like Owen Hart.
Mm-hmm.
Owen Hart, not only a great in-ring technician, but a family man, being demonstrated right here at Mick Foley's testimony and honestly eulogy.
Saying there's a special place in heaven for him.
We got Bradshaw now. Talk about the conservative nature now of Owen Hart. I can relate as the conservative Superman of the family. I'm just saying, I'm super cheap. I only spend if I have to. And when I spend more than I think I need to, I sometimes regret. But I can't do that.
They said that about Mick Foley, too, how cheap he is.
Well, I mean, when you only wear enough of a flannel.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, you not only think about the WWF superstars affected by this tragedy, but the very family of Owen Hart himself.
Yeah, the wrestling business. And it takes something so tragic to see 6'6", 6'7", 300-pound plus men get emotional here. And, to reiterate what JJ said, we start here with Jeff Jarrett. They really missed the opportunity to make him go babyface here after his best friend.
He basically nailed that with everything he says. And I think it's very fitting that Jeff Jarrett with Deborah is the first person to open in-ring action. Jeff Jarrett was very candid about his love and support of Owen Hart.
As we're going to see the armbands throughout the night with everybody having the OH on them.
Yeah, just letting the referees as well. Again, we talk about the trend that's followed. Unfortunately, what became a thing for Eddie Guerrero, for Brody Lee, for Bray Wyatt. Just name arguably the three most iconic tribute life celebrations in sports entertainment, professional wrestling history since Owen.
Jeff Hardy. I said Jeff Hardy. Jeff Jarrett telling the crowd Owen was never a nugget. I forgot Deborah was the women's champion at this time. I see her with the title. I'm like, I completely forgot that.
And here comes his opponent. Test.
6'10" former bodyguard of Motley Crue.
And also we learned, of course, this Owen Hart Memorial tributes may be made directly to the Alberta Children's Hospital at the time in Calgary, Alberta, Canada.
Yeah, that was a charity that meant a lot to Owen Hart, so it's only fitting that they would want that to all his proceedings to be donated to that.
And here we are with action as we get things underway into JJ's point. As I literally woke up 10 minutes ago. Yep, Jay Briscoe again, the most emotional last tribute we had in the business outside of the WWF WWE. Of course, we saw Test was involved in that 8-man elimination match where the Union, of course, took on the corporate ministry as he starts the bracket. But of course, you don't think about here the character dynamics at this point. You think about the actual competitive nature occurring at this point to get in this ring to alleviate the pain that not only family members and loved ones think about here.
And the reason I said ouch was Test with a huge boot right to Jeff Jarrett's face.
And Jeff Jarrett sent down crashing face first into the canvas. And again, we got 10 unique matches here. First match, the strength demonstrated right now by Test with the sidewalk slam, planting Jeff Jarrett.
It seems like anyone 6'6" or taller does a sidewalk slam in their arsenal, huh?
You use your height to your advantage, and you apply your will against your opponent. And Test is a very powerful individual. Up the rope, big freaking mistake though. As Jeff Jarrett got the boot up.
How often do you see someone 6'10" go up to the top rope like that? He usually doesn't work out for him.
An armbar DDT on the left arm of Test. Test right now, of course, was the first person eliminated in the 8-man elimination match. Of course, Jeff Jarrett and Deborah were involved in mixed tag actually against Val Venus and Nicole Bass. And Val and Nicole not only won, they celebrated. Gut wrench. Look at that power bomb. In the cover, hook of the leg. 2 count counted by Theodore Long. Deborah on the apron now. Deborah right now giving Test more than he came for tonight. Oh! And of that distraction, the stroke. Reverse Russian leg sweep by Double J. And it looks like he might be stepping over for the sharpshooter. Owen Hart, the Calgary Crab. The sharpshooter. Jeff Jarrett's got to be doing this, of course, honoring the Rocket as Test taps out.
And of course, he would tap out to the sharpshooter. A fitting ending to this match.
Owen Hart, of course, with a well-defined technical specialist.
And we said it earlier, and we pointed that JJ pointed it out. But look at the reaction Jeff is getting right now. Like they should have just pulled the trigger with it.
As we go backstage now to Mark Henry.
Mark Henry seems like he's reading a poem of some sort.
In a very metaphoric state of mind and emotions. Starts heavy. That's saying a lot for Mark Henry when you think about the size of that man.
Yeah, look at the pauses he takes before he can read it. He's getting all choked up.
In that sleep. Toss and turn in your sheets. Poet, and he didn't know it.
Yeah.
Waking up with sobs and wet pillowcases. They're endlessly looking to the sky. Before I cry. We got Drowse here, DRLZ. One of the newest people to come into the WWF landscape. Only was there for a year and a half.
What a gimmick, able to throw up on demand.
Yeah, that aside, I do wonder,
Of course, he would have fallen into his own tragedy just maybe a year later after this?
Give or take, yeah.
Yeah.
Talk about how Owen was always a trickster, always had a way to lighten the mood. He's always made the fans react, made them laugh, made them rant, talked about how he's going to do his match.
We talked about kayfabe, but Josh just said it. He said when we're told what we're gonna do in the match, I don't even think he realized what he said.
Sure, Vince did, and again, to your point, this was pulling the curtain back on the character showcases we witnessed back then in the world of sports entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
Because they'll never forget. None of us will never forget. Of course, we still have Ken Shamrock and Stone Cold to also come tonight in action, along with so many others. As we now have the one half of the WWF Tag Team Champions coming to the ring now in X-Pac.
X-Pac!
Break it down.
A former light heavyweight champion. He actually made that title mean something when they were trying to compete with WCW's cruiserweight division.
Let's be honest. X-Pac was more lightweight than freaking the Crash Holly.
Yeah. I think the most he weighed with Muscular was 212 pounds, I believe.
Of course, they're in a sold-out capacity audience in St. Louis this night for what became RAW is OWEN. And again, as I alluded to, one half of still the current WWF Tag Team Champions at the time, after he and Kane overcame Mark Henry and D'Lo Brown. Uh-oh.
The OG Kane entrance, the old mask, the old red outfit.
Yeah, and of course, when the lights go out and the organ plays through Hellfire and Blindstone, the devil's favorite demon comes to play. It's over!
That used to scare the hell out of me when I go see them live with that firework.
They sure as hell feel it.
Mm-hmm. You literally feel heat.
The 6'6" anomaly. X-Pac and Kane, though, had a hell of a physical war, though, defending those titles. Very competitive match against D'Lo Brown and Mark Henry at Over the Edge. And, of course, we witnessed the world's strongest man, Mark Henry, get choke slammed by the Kane.
Yeah. Choke slam well over 350 pounds. Made it look easy. He didn't really struggle. And of course, Kane, a one-time WWF champion at that point, who won it in just the prior year before in June and then lost it the Monday Night Raw 24 hours later. One of my favorite themes from 1999.
And one of the most unique entrances of the time as well. As I see also rising up out of the darkness into the light, the Renegade of Wrestling will be joining us soon enough as he has joined the feed watch along room as the Brood has arrived. Edge, Christian, and Gangrel surrounded by the flames.
What were you thinking? Stepping in through the realm of the deadly.
And two of these still doing their thing in the course of a different company, at AEW, but two of these people still going strong to this day.
And of course, we know we'll be calling Double or Nothing this Sunday, me and James, as we will have Edge, Adam Copeland defending the TNT Championship at Barbed Wire Steel Cage against Malachi Black, going back to his brutish roots. And of course, Christian Cage will challenge for the AEW World Championship against Force Sugar. This and so much more to come here at the JMN Multiverse of Media live watch event scheduled 2024 when we cover AEW Double or Nothing Sunday. But tonight is about honoring Owen with Raw is War becoming Raw is Owen. And tonight, of course, we have this Freebird faction of sorts in tag team action. And it looks like it'll be Gangrel and Edge kicking off here for the Brood against Kane and X-Pac.
Speaking of the Renegade, good sir, please, ladies and gentlemen, welcome the Renegade of Wrestling. JJ Williams is in the house.
Good evening, JJ.
Thank you, everybody.
Good to
Good
see you, man.
evening.
Again, this is your gem. This is your suggestive brainchild in honoring one of the greatest of all time that fell so early in the business. As of course, we have in-ring action currently going on right now, but it's good to see you. And I'm sure we're going to get a lot of your thoughts as, of course, we'll have another tributes for so many other WWE superstars. We have Edge and X-Pac right now locking up. Good show tackled by Edge, taking down X-Pac. Tag team titles now on the line here, but you imagine the Brood are able to find a win. They would be in contention for those titles. Nice spinning heel kick.
I think this is what they call these days an eliminator match.
Mm-hmm. Man, Dracula, eat your heart out. Look at Gangrel.
Look at Edge. Jesus. With
Never.
the fangs going on Edge.
Never use that term eliminator match again. I hate it. I hate it so much.
Walter has raised the ire of the man in the green of the man in the.
No, that wasn't Walter. That was JJ that time.
But look, again,
I've been on the stream for less than 5 minutes. I already pissed the producer off.
Spinning back heel kick, Tad to Gangrel after X-Pac took Edge's head off.
Gangrel, no small man himself.
Nah, he's no Kane, though.
No.
Yeah, that's Kane. He just got tagged in. What happens when a demon meets a vampire?
Gangrel, very underrated, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Accurate. Kane
The
right
Vampire Warrior, as he's known these days because of copyrights.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Gangrel might as well have been a sponsor for Castlevania. Nice double DDT takeover by immediately raises up. The Big Red Machine right now working at full capacity. Tilt the world, backbreaker over the knee to Edge.
And Kane just going strong, cleaning house.
Back by drop to Gangrel, and you see Christian Cage trying to get involved here. Not looking prepared the match and takes a tilt the world backbreaker for his troubles. And of course, this is a 2-hour tribute show to Owen Hart with these unique matches taking place here. The second of 10 matches to take place here. Put that in perspective.
And out of all these men, I think X-Pac's the only one that still has long hair nowadays.
Right.
Not as long as it used to be, though, for being honest. We're just saying.
Yeah.
Deep shot, though. Now double team by the Brew on the outside to X-Pac.
Gangrel's is still pretty shaggy there, but not as long as he has it on this show.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Archer at the far side as Edge eats the turnbuckle pad. Stepping as a guard by X-Pac takes Edge down, though.
And who would have looked at this foursome back in 1999 and been like, the guy with a mask that doesn't talk is going to be the mayor of Tennessee?
Yeah, who would have thought that someone called the Devil's favorite son would be running for public office?
Yeah,
and winning.
And the guy with the tights and the teeth will become an 11-time world champion.
Look at Edge! Oh no!
And that X-Pac would be a 2-time Hall of Famer.
Exactly.
With Bronco Buster and being part of his accolades, came with a choke slam. The Big Red Machine now using his own partner, Pop Planet, top of the Gangrel, and the 3 count for X-Pac and Kane.
2 sub 10-minute matches. I think the first one went about 3.5 minutes, and this one was about 4.
Welcome.
Yeah,
to
that's the theme here. That's
Mhm.
the theme on this show. Most of the matches are not very long.
That was the case for the Attitude Era for the most part, anyway. But yeah.
Well, that and plus with it being a tribute to Owen, like people really don't want to work, but they don't want the people to go home unhappy. So it's a cage of Brian Cage, get your shit in.
And speed of really pulling back the curtain. Here we have Triple H and Joni, aka China, talking about Owen. Now, this hits me hard for 2 reasons. 1, Owen, and 2, Joni speaking.
Exactly.
Talking about I gave a lot of happiness and good memories. The hair thing.
Yeah,
It's
Owen was
weird to
known as
see
a
Triple H
prankster.
at a loss for words.
Right?
Yeah, he looks off like it's lost in thought.
I believe the term the kids use is shook.
Yes.
Yeah.
See, Triple H actually has a word.
Very shook. Very shook indeed.
And got his composure and breathing. And I heard Soundsley with something to say.
Just think about the rivalry Triple H had with Owen Hart as part of DX with Shawn Michaels, and they were part of the Hart Foundation.
And even DX in the Nation when Owen joined the Rock's Nation.
Oh, yeah. Who
one-
could forget
yeah,
that
one-
parody with Jason Sensation?
Yeah, at one point, desecrating a Canadian flag. If you know, you know, folks.
Hell yeah.
And our guy himself saying, "Oh, it was always one of his best." They were a piece of trash. Always there for everybody. To make you laugh, make you mad. Grab you in the ring. Make you so mad you want to choke him.
This might be the first time I think someone said rib on national TV.
One of them, yeah.
Yeah, I'm about to say, that's the word you didn't hear that comment, especially in that era of time. And talk about, the way that he literally schoolboyed him, backslide him, basically the way he used to wrestle with him, quite literally. Owen Hart made Triple H not only a better person, but a better wrestler. And in that vein, a better family man, too.
I think we got Stu to thank for that because he instilled those into Owen, and Owen passed it on to other people.
Yeah, the integrity of Owen Hart runs deep within the Hart Foundation family tree.
The integrity of the entire Hart family.
Accurate.
Always have a place in Triple H's heart.
This is the first time we're hearing Triple H, by the way, without that, gracie nature in his voice, too.
Mm-hmm.
He's not yelling. He's literally speaking from the heart the best he can. Now we go to Dave Hebner, WWF official.
Just wanted to reiterate also, I hear audio from somebody's end. I'm not sure who, so just make sure you have your volume in check, boys.
Always make you laugh. Make you smile. I want to make sure everybody had a good day. I've got to care everybody. They barely go outside the building. The common theme here, great family man.
Yeah, everybody's mentioning how much Owen talked about his kids.
It's Noah's volume. Noah, turn your volume down, dude.
Oh, it's still that loud? Really? Damn.
It shouldn't be that loud if you already fixed it, but yeah, just make sure it's like
Just
at
a
a low enough
smidge.
decibel.
I literally am down to 30, guys. If I go down any lower, I'm not going to hear a damn thing.
That's crazy. Dave Hebner saying Owen will always be in his heart.
Of course, they're in St. Louis, Missouri for RAW IS OWEN. Sold out at the Keo Center.
Raising a drink. I know you're straight edge, Noah, but a toast to Owen Hart on this evening.
I'll do a water bottle because I don't have a drink around me.
We got the Hardy Boys coming down with Michael P.S. Hayes after enduring a bloodbath. And Jeff Hardy coming in for our tag team action.
Wow. Rare to see the Hardys without their classic music theme that everybody's come to know.
Yeah, I don't think people remember this theme.
I do. I do.
remember it too.
Bro, Michael PSA is coming out with a goddamn cane like he's like 47 like he's no, not even 47, like he's an old man like in the old folks
He's
retirement
pulling the
home,
Freddie
dude.
Blassie with the cane gimmick. I'm just saying.
Well,
Bro,
dude, I mean, have you seen the way he dresses? Dude is
Yeah.
low key a pimp. That is his pimp cane. Let's just leave
Exactly.
Michael Hayes alone.
I think
uh,
he legit rehabbed an injury though, and then he just kept the cane after.
Taka Michinoku, baby. Yes.
You
Oh,
I miss
just
I
dude.
miss
tap
Taka.
out.
a few
Bro.
years before the choppy pee pee.
Dude,
And of course,
I-
Taka basically excurged himself from the U.S., always saying that he's here in New Japan, motherfuckers. Of course, became part of Suzuki Gun alongside Suzuki Gun, started his own promotion, JTO, Just Tap Out. And of course, one of his greatest pupils, Zack Sabre Jr.
Mm-hmm.
since he was mentioned and since he's in the ring, I have to say, like, I really feel like Taka Michinoku was one of the most underrated wrestlers ever, dude. I wish they did more with him. He would have banged in the cruiserweight division for real. He really
Imagine the cruiserweights winning with a Michinoku driver. This is the guy. This is the guy that's the reason we talk about the Michinoku driver.
Exactly. I loved me some Taka back in the day. And Noah, since we pointed it out last night, pay attention and see if they call it the just like that when Matt hits that twist of fate. Now that you know, try to pay attention for that.
It most certainly will right now. And of course, Funaki SmackDown's #1
announcer.
Look at this right now. Test of speed. Look out. Oh, man.
Jesus.
Over the top plunger there by Jeff Hardy.
A young Jeff Hardy who not many people can match the speed of Taka Michinoku, but at this time, Jeff could.
Yeah, I guess this young kid from North Carolina, a little poetry in motion here by the Hardys. And a clothesline followed by Matt, taking his head off.
Of course, I'm not sure what was worse, the little blonde tuft on Taka's hair, or the Hardy Boys with those wannabe tribal tattoos that are etched onto their sleaves to make them look like they're badass.
Facebuster there of sorts.
That's pretty much the sleeves. Like I don't know if any of you watch Big Bang Theory, but there was one where they just wanted to get goth chicks and they wore these tattoo sleeves to the club.
Of course, they are talking about they want to extend the gratitude to all Owen Hart's fans, friends, and family and supporters.
Michinoku driver right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, unable to capitalize though. Not going for the pin. Might be looking for the tag. Michael Hayes right now encouraging Jeff to tag Matt, which he did, and Funaki now legal. Want to talk about another guy that was underrated in the ring. How about Funaki?
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, the last time he was
had a first name.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, the last time he was in the one of the last times he was in the ring was literally in a bar fight, and all he did was drink at the bar and passed out. Oh!
Don't they literally to this day still use Funaki as a Japanese announcer when they have to do it?
I believe he's part of the Japanese team. Look out! Taka flying up the top rope. The crossbody.
We got to do it. We got to do it one time. We got to do that.
Get it right. It's the Spaceman Plancha. Put some respect on Taka Michinoku's name.
Here we go.
Netbreaker.
They just called it a net breaker.
Yeah, and Matt with the win.
I just wanted to go, and then somebody else go, indeed. Like,
yeah, the word indeed became a freaking shirt gimmick before bruv and yeet.
Yeah, and we're not talking about the company you use to hire people.
Right. Now we got Bruce Pritchard, WWF official.
Also known
the
as
man
Brother
behind
Love.
Brother Love, yeah. One of my old roommates always wanted me to pull off Brother Love for like a Halloween party. I was like, if you go dressed as Virgil, I'll do Brother Love. He wouldn't do it.
I think you could pull Brother Love very well.
I just don't want to spend the money on the white suit.
I was say white suit.
It's like I am a fat man in a white suit that's gonna get dirty and sweaty.
Dustin Reynolds now.
rare opportunity here where we see him outside of the gold dust makeup.
Yeah, prior to basically retiring it before becoming part of All Elite Wrestling in 2019. As he had sharing some stories here about Kansas City, Missouri. But for those that don't know, basically Bruce Bridger once again re-embodying such the family nature of Owen Hart.
This is one of my favorite Owen stories right here.
The big pot of chili.
Yep.
It's a great story.
Put all the hot sauce in the chili. Oh my gosh. Monster.
I can see somebody doing this.
Problem is, you could probably legitimately die from that.
Yeah, right?
Like, you actually
Harley came after Owen with a stun gun for fucking up his famous pot of chili.
Don't blame him.
Yeah, dude,
And
like,
this is before the one chip challenge.
yeah, oh my god.
Oh gosh, Walter, wow. That's a hell of a metaphor, but you're not wrong.
Could you have imagined Owen Hart doing a one-chip challenge? He would have been OG YouTuber before YouTube old people. doing a hot chip challenge just for the memes.
Yeah.
Here comes Hardcore Holly.
Hardcore Holly, of course, failed to capture the WWF Hardcore Championship against Al Snow and Head at Over the Edge.
JJ mentioned it last night, and I agree. There was just something about him that never clicked with me. I preferred him as Sparkplug, to be honest.
At the end of the day, Hardcore Holly was, and excuse the pun here, Noah, he was that grizzled young vet that they put all the rookies up to test their mettle and see if they were going to be quote unquote tough enough for this business.
Which
he has the reputation of a bully for a reason, which is why a lot of in-ring talents didn't like him. And just like I said last night, just something about him didn't click with me. Unlike this gentleman walking to the ring, one of the original competitors in the UFC, the Ultimate Fighting Championship. I remember watching him go up against Royce Gracie, Dan Severn, long before Tito Ortiz, long before Chuck Liddell matches.
Long before Anderson Silva, Conor McGregor, and Michael Bisping.
I'm just talking about matches for Shamrock. Like, I remember seeing him fight Gracie and Severn.
Yeah, one of the most intense individuals you'll ever be in the ring with at that time. There was a reason why he was called the world's most dangerous man.
Which is weird because when he was outside of the ring, dude was like chill as hell.
Nice.
I remember bumping into him backstage at a UPW show back when I was first getting into the indie scene. And he was just like calm, cool, collected, nothing like the intense persona that he displayed in the ring.
Yeah, or the intense persona he displayed over the edge when he literally was trying to shatter the ankle of Farouk and got disqualified out of that 8-man elimination match.
Can I just say?
Oh wow, nice front face lock, suplex on the bridge by Shamrock. 2 count, their fall. Go ahead.
As great as Shamrock is, he will always have the tremendous blunder in UFC of "I'm gonna beat you into a living death."
Oxymoron, living death.
There's a cliche.
Busts out a gut laughing, dude.
There's a cliche. It's always the quiet ones, and he probably was one of the quiet ones.
He should have been one of the quiet ones.
Yeah. Well, after that, would you blame him for being quiet? Great pin down there for a near fall by Ken Shamrock.
I mean, that's probably unfair because while he was an Impact for that short stint, he actually got better on the mic. But I assume it's because he's like, I can never cut a promo that ridiculous again. I can't afford it.
Yeah.
I can't. It's ruined my image.
And of course, he would he would famously go on to create the Lions Den, the Team Lions Den, where many UFC fighters have come through.
And of course, NXT tried to reincarnate that with their Fight Pit and Underground.
Nice.
I love that Hurricane Rana of his. A dude built like him should not be able to do a jumping Hurricane Rana like that.
Ken Shamrock with the takedown, now applying the ankle lock. To your point, Ken Shamrock bringing the mold on what heavyweights could do, what cruiserweights are known to do, as he has an ankle lock applied to Hardcore Holly, who taps out.
And of course,
breaks early this time.
And Ken Shamrock was the one who brought tapping out to WWF. You didn't really see people tap out to submission moves prior to Ken Shamrock.
You saw him incapacitated before tapping.
And since we just saw the Richard Petty wannabe just get his ass kicked, go back to go back to the level below NASCAR, you hack.
Mhm.
Well,
And everything, everything we said about. Go ahead, Jeff.
Damn.
Go ahead. Go ahead. No,
I said for
all the things we've said about Ken Shamrock, even one simple thing, his theme is underrated as hell. He has one of the best themes.
Yeah, true. True that. JJ, while Farouk is speaking, do I need any tickers or anything down below or no?
No, don't worry about it.
Cool beans.
This isn't a typical watch long event.
That's kind of what I figured, but I just wanted to double check on that.
We got Test now.
Test, may he rest in peace.
Oh,
Yeah.
Talking about
another one gone too early.
You're right.
Yeah, I mean,
lucky son of a bitch dated Stacy Keibler.
He did.
That's actually how I met him too. Little funny story. Stacy Keibler came to do a signing at RVD's 5-Star Comics. And so went inside, waited in line, went to meet Stacy. Test showed up after the show to pick her up. So was able to meet Test when he came to pick her up.
That's wild.
Oh, jeez.
Dude was chill as hell again. Like,
The
he realized that all the thirsty guys were there to meet and drool over his woman. So he was more than willing to, stop and give a little bit of time. Someone acknowledged him and started talking to him with a little bit of respect.
Well, I mean,
nobody would mess with someone 6'10". Or
here's the thing: when you're dating somebody like Stacy Keibler, you have no choice but to respect that man. Right? He's obviously doing something right if he can bag somebody like that. I'm just saying.
Oy vey.
She might have even been too much for George Clooney, who was linked to her for a long time.
Well, I mean,
no, he was.
George Clooney infamously had nipples on the bat suit, so I'm just saying.
That is true.
Well, from one ass to another.
There you go.
From the original
ass man.
From the original testicle to an ass man.
Mr. Ass himself.
I'll never forget when he got poison ivy rubbed on his butt.
Like we pointed out last night, can we believe that Billy Gunn is still wrestling today and in as amazing a shape as he looks here some 25 years ago?
The guy doesn't age. He found the proverbial fountain of youth.
His body still looks the same.
He's an ass man.
There we go.
Oh, now he's got a mic. Did he forget the words? Suck it! You're not knowable at heart.
Heel Billy Gunn going back to his babyface DX roots for one moment there.
And they got babyface pop for it as he's going one-on-one against Mankind.
I'm just going to say this, man. Like, Billy Gunn was always the better at announcing, we got 2 words for you. I mean, Sean tried, but nobody could beat Billy Gunn's
accurate
rendition of that ever.
Well, he's the OG. I mean, again, many people can try and duplicate, but no one can replicate. How many times have we said that about so many fans when it comes to the wrestling business, particularly?
Did you guys notice the botch here?
Yeah,
I was just going to say, Mankind with PMS, but where are they?
Yeah. In more ways than one, that he would have PMS. That would be hysterical.
Well, they were TV 14 back then, to be fair.
And I guess this would have been the end of the first hour because the little copyright
start of the second here.
Yeah, we got our rating, we got our logo here, as we got our eyeballs count. By the way, what match we're on? 4th, I think.
And I gotta say, I got used to the car crash theme and everything, and I love Mankind, but nothing was better than that. The organ or the piano, creepy ass Mankind. That thing was
tortured,
like
the tortured soul that was basically, thrown away by this world. Mr. Adams now against Mankind in the corner, or having to try and call for a break.
He gave Undertaker a hell of a rivalry.
Oh boy.
Emmanuel, I'm going to say no to that just because wrestling karaoke isn't until next March.
The hell of that.
Possibly even next April, considering how late Mania is going to be. Yeah. Let's hold off on that one because I don't want to forget about it.
Big clothesline over the top rope. Mr. Ass with his pants down right now on the outside. Mankind in pursuit.
Mr. Ass showing his ass.
Probably not the first
Literally
time
and
either.
figuratively.
Yeah, probably not the first time either, if we're being honest.
I am going to say he's the only wrestler to ever not only be a King of the Ring winner, but also have an entire Harvard educational study about his wrestling theme, I'm an ass man. This is a true thing, by the way.
That's crazy to think about.
What a thesis. What a thesis to choose for such a degree. And to James' point, of course, me and Walter will be back here at JMN Multiverse of Media live watch event schedule tomorrow, if you're out here in the East Coast, though. Today, as we cover King and Queen of the Ring. Stay tuned for our coverage of that. That, of course, will start Saturday, May 25th, I believe, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So stay tuned for more on that, folks. Here at JMN Multiverse of Media.
Yeah, that's pretty much in like 10 hours for us.
hates us.
Yeah.
Look, I did my rant, and I have zero F's about it. I said what I said about the wrestling business and bookers. Get your stuff together. But that's not what
Did you say it on the air or just in the group chat to us?
Group chat.
Okay. Yeah, for those of you out there that don't know, WWE made a 2-hour pre-show for King and Queen of the Ring tomorrow that kicks off at 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 Eastern, as Noah pointed out. We were all programmed to go live at 9 and give Noah an hour and a half for simply predicting as a lead-in.
Wait, what?
And then they decided to make a women's tag team title match at a 2-hour pre-show.
You're fucking kidding me, right?
Get the taco right now down the gullet of Mr. Ass. Mankind incapacitating the ass man. On the outside, or Hebner calls it.
It's because of what happened on SmackDown tonight.
So,
James,
okay.
Do I sound like I'm kidding you?
So, okay. So does that mean Noah can't do simply predicting because of that shit? Is that what I'm getting at?
Correct.
No, Noah can still do simply predicting if he wants to, because he usually tunes in late for the show to start anyway.
That is true. No, you probably could still.
As long as I have somebody to do the pre-show with me, I got no problem calling Bianca and Jade in tag action.
Well, Walter volunteered. I'm not surprised by that one.
Since they're going to be going against Candice LeRae, like I get to praise Bianca and Jade and rip Candice to shit all at the same time.
Oh, but poor Indy Hartwell.
That's showing the only Owen Hart.
I'll give Indy props. I like Indy.
As we get to Jeff Jarrett's.
All right, guys, let's get serious about the bullshit that doesn't matter and shit that does matter.
Yeah, true.
Again, just look at this right here and tell me they didn't miss the boat.
JJ, I'm going to let you take the Jeff Jarrett retrospective here. Not only what he said, what he's doing, because you've already spoken verbatim what WWF should have done. I'm not going to say another word.
Jarrett's in tears saying he was one of those friends. There's a lot of funny stories, his personality, things he used to do.
On the road.
It says that he sees Owen more than he saw his own wife. And he'd say the same thing, that he sees Jeff more than he sees Martha.
That was the.
But now that he's not here, you look at it selfishly, that he doesn't have his buddy, his friend, his partner.
You don't realize how precious something you have until it's gone.
Dude.
Exactly. It's the proverbial, you don't know what you got till it's gone. And when you really think about Owen's life,
notice how he's not even looking at the camera.
Yeah,
he thinks about integrity. Because this business is cold and callous, selfish. He can't look at the camera. If he looks at the camera, he's going to break down even more than he already is. Says Owen was real in this fantasy world. He was a man's man.
Of course, his wife and kids still run the Owen Hart Foundation.
His wife and his kids are 3 of the luckiest people in the world. Because he loved them more than anything in the world. And he did what he did to provide for them.
Family the strongest force in anyone's life.
Don't I know it?
A man with integrity in this business is few and far between.
Before Kurt Angle
It's
made
not
that
a good
word.
thing to know, but it's the truth.
Well, that was before Kurt Angle freaking made that one of his 3 eyes.
Mm-hmm. Fans get to see Owen for 10 to 15 minutes a week, but when you get to see him multiple days a week, 12 hours at a time, makes work entertaining off the camera. I'm telling you guys, it was this night that I turned my leaf over and I began to respect Jeff Jarrett.
Yeah, seriously, this should have been the night he turned babyface, like for life. Honest to God,
Not for life,
for
but
a long while.
at least for those few months until SummerSlam.
Despite my kayfabe nature of Jeff Jarrett in 2024, I agree with you 110% about this Jeff Jarrett in 1999.
He should have been a babyface here. He should have went for the title at some point, and even if he came up short, like
Jeff Jarrett will also be part of the buy-in panel at Double or Nothing.
He got me emotional now. Now that he's talking about Owen's kids and.
Yeah.
Well, considering you are a father yourself, along with this man below me, I may not be a father, but I'm a proud uncle to a 9-year-old gem, and little Ella.
Yeah.
Not only the
Jarrett
emotion,
said that he made a promise to himself that as they grew up, he was going to do everything he could to let Oj and Athena know what a great man that he was.
And now we go to
Edge. Jeff had the longest one so far, no?
Well, he had a lot to say. I mean,
well,
again,
but you got to figure that was his tag team partner,
right? The connection with those two. All right.
You know what the screwy part of that is? While Edge talks about him, for real, like I think. I almost wonder if Jeff even got to do exactly what he set out to do, considering the whole issues with Martha and the wrestling business for like the longest time because of what happened. That's what really gets me thinking. Like, did he even get to do what he set out to do there?
Well, considering the
I don't know.
Go ahead, JJ.
I was going to say I don't know if he got to do it in the short term.
Yeah.
But you figure that Martha is now working with Tony Khan in AEW.
Yep.
With the Owen Hart Foundation and the Owen Hart Tournament, and Jarrett is employed with AEW.
Right.
So he may have, in the long run, gotten to talk to Oj and Athena again once they were grown up and could make some decisions for their own without Martha sheltering them. But in the short term, probably not so much.
Right.
Yeah, about to say.
It's always possible, maybe during his WCW run after this, because Brett was over there, but Brett and Martha were at odds too.
Right.
So there's the possibility he was able to get close to her through Brett, through Bulldog, but not really positive on that one.
Yeah.
Not impossible, but highly
you almost got to wonder if Jarrett is who was able to get to Martha to start the Owen Hart stuff with AEW. Because that all started shortly after Jarrett came over.
I think it had to have been a combination of between Punk and Jarrett. I have to imagine that, Punk came up with the idea. Jarrett had the way to get a hold of people at that time. So I could see it, going both of their ways. Now let's just hope that it was Jarrett that made the deal and not Punk.
I gotta do the head shake. I used to walk around school doing that.
This was one of the worst Jim Johnston themes ever. I'm sorry.
It was.
I like the one that evolved from this, the Danger at Your Door. You're looking at the real deal now. That one was so much better than this.
I can't believe this was a theme.
I can't believe they found that armband that could fit Mark Henry.
At that time, especially. That man's arm was massive.
Jack
this sounds like they tried to evolve a nation-esque theme and make it D'Lo specific.
You mean
Because
every
it kind
single
of has
theme
that
after the
rock.
nation?
It kind of has that rock feel to it.
Yeah. It's literally every nation theme after they all broke up. Yeah. They literally did that for every single person that left the nation.
Including
Here
Farouk,
comes
who's coming
Farouk and
alongside his
Bradshaw.
acolyte. Including
And of
Farouk,
course-
who's coming alongside his acolyte, Bradshaw, as the acolytes are going in tag team action against D'Lo Brown, Mr. Bobblehead himself, and Mark Henry, Jack, of course, in their corner.
And D'Lo, who would later become, he would go on to be a TNA announcer.
And agent, yeah.
Mhm.
Like
I
I
mean-
said to Noah yesterday, I remember during AJ Styles' very first NWA title reign, he had a feud with AJ and they fought 3 times over 1 2-hour weekly pay-per-view.
Mm-hmm.
Oof. Mark Henry not budged there. Farouk, though, with a big shoulder block.
See, and
Dude,
Farouk
Mark-
has to know better than to do that with Mark Henry. They were in the
You know?
nation together.
A lot
There's
of people,
legit 3 nation members and a new blackjack in this match. Like, Jesus Christ, Farouk. You know
Pretty
what the
much.
hell not to do to Mark Henry?
well, to be fair, I mean,
Uh-oh. Oh, my!
Jesus, nice power slam. I will say,
Jack.
to be fair, he always hated Mark Henry, so I don't think he took the time to get to know his strengths and weaknesses. I don't think he wanted to be around him too long in kayfabe anyway.
Jawbreaker.
That's
Ouch.
Root Taz and Bradshaw. The Irish whip now to D'Lo Brown. Down the ropes. Caught with a kick. Big right hands being thrown by the former WWF European champion. A big boot connects.
And look at Bradshaw. Like I said in the comments when you guys streamed
What's going
yesterday,
on,
who knew to throw a cowboy hat on this man? Write a best New York bell setter. Say he's from New York. Give him a stock exchange gimmick and boom, WWF champ or WWE champ.
The crazy thing is that
the
it
dark
wasn't
times.
a gimmick. John Layfield really is for lack of a
Mhm.
better term, a money genius.
He's
Yeah.
an entrepreneur.
He did make himself a millionaire by investing. Like, that is legitimately who John
Mhm.
Layfield is.
And
Yeah, he's a cowboy from Texas, but
Yeah,
he
Russian
knows
leg
how to
sweep.
manage his money. He wrote a book about it.
And a near fall.
And he
Yes.
also had a job at
Exactly.
Fox until he pissed
Yep.
that away because he
I was
was
just
being
gonna say
racist
that.
to Latinos.
Not the
Even
first
though
time.
Eddie signed off on it.
Not the first time Fox pissed off minorities. What? Anyway.
Eddie's mom is the one that told him to do it. Even he had to be like, chill.
Yeah, well, no, I'm specific. I think Eddie and Ray were always like, get the maximum amount of heat. They always signed off on it, and I think a lot of people forget about that. And I'm
Because they
not
were
one.
old school in that way.
Yeah, like, and I'm not one to defend JBL in a lot of instances, but I think
Yeah, no
JBL
shit.
kind of got the
DDT.
wrong end of the deal on that one. I really do. Poor guy.
Dad to Bradshaw by Farouk after
Old-
that DDT to D'Lo Brown.
Old Teddy Long here is our referee. You go back and you look at the history. Teddy Long refereed a lot of Farouk matches.
Yep.
And
And a
And
cover.
Just like
you know-
Aubrey Edwards referees pretty much all of Jericho's matches.
was
Teddy
and
Long,
what's fun-
since he managed Doom back in WCW, and Ron Simmons back then, like, he was always the referee for Teddy for Ron Simmons Farouk's matches.
Yep.
Irish whip,
and we all,
underneath
you
the
know, we
clothesline,
say the
D'Lo
holla
Brown.
holla. We say the
Business
holla
like
holla. We make fun of the tag team thing, but if you look at Teddy, his assignment yesterday and today were both tag team matches, so he was known to referee tag matches as well.
Well, that explains why he's the best GM ever. to
Teddy
make tag
Long,
teams
you're a
better.
tag match, Mark. You freaking Mark.
Big clothesline
Speaking
by
of
Mark
Mark,
Henry right now.
Ivory at ringside with D'Lo and Mark Henry, just like last night.
Yeah. By the way, we have to remember this too.
Dak.
He managed the skyscrapers too. This guy is just a tag team,
Mhm.
Mark. That's all Teddy Long is. That's his whole gimmick, because he loves tag teams.
Right to censor Ivory, might I add, who would turn on to be the women's champion and had a great gimmick with that.
And
She
of course,
took
that's
that.
one of the last people to compete against Joni. Does a cover, and Mark Henry saves the matchup.
Showing some quickness the way he broke that pin up.
Yeah.
Interrupted the
Mark
count the last second. D'Lo Brown, though, stuck in a 2-1 situation. Miscommunication, though. The roll up by D'Lo on Bradshaw. And he got him.
Yeah.
Out too
No one
late.
here.
He kicked out a fraction too late.
I'll take 3 seconds. Smart man, D'Lo Brown getting the advantage of one miscommunication spot by the Acolytes. Getting the win.
Look at Mark Henry, who, of course, would go to become a world heavyweight champion and put people into the Hall of Pain.
Yeah, watch this, by the way. That single leg boot catching Farouk flush in the face, and D'Lo with the roll up.
Mark Henry is the prime definition of just be patient, find the right gimmick, he'll catch fire. Because how many times did they try to repackage Mark Henry before he finally caught fire with that Hall of Pain?
I lost count. And here we have the first ever WWF Intercontinental Champion, Pat Patterson now.
He was the carrying cross of this generation. Like, how many times they have to repackage somebody?
Well, he
first he was the Olympian, then he was Nation of Domination, then he was, the sexual chocolate, then he was, the world's strongest man.
Yeah.
Then he was like ECW, and then finally they found like the Hall of Pain, and I may have missed something in between all that stuff.
And the Hall of the Hall of Pain, if you look at it, he's went to total. That started as a gimmick, as a rib from Vince McMahon, who told him to go out into the ring, that he was going to go for a match, and everybody had left. No one was there, and he was pissed off, and he started breaking shit in the arena, and pissed that he was sitting there waiting. First, he was going to beat whoever his opponent's ass because he thought it was late, and then he found out it was Vince ribbing him, and that slowly became the Hall of Pain gimmick. So it started as a rib.
Yeah, which is weird because, again, it's like, it's just another fucking thing of big dick Vince throwing his weight around, and I'm not going to get into it there, but it does kind of show that
the
side.
Best. Let's not get into Vince and his
stupid
escapades,
intricacies. Let's just leave it at that tonight. Tonight is about Owen Hart.
Parker Holly speaking about Owen Hart now.
And despite all the things that Vince did, whether they were right, wrong, or idiotic, he did do some good things, and this show is one of them. It started a trend. After Raw is Owen, there was the first SmackDown after 9/11. Then there was Raw and SmackDown as Eddie.
Right.
Then as I heard you guys say on the air when I was getting ready to come on here, there were the Bray Wyatt tributes. There were the John Huber tributes, Mr. Brody Lee. There was the Jay Briscoe tribute. This started the trend.
Yeah.
So for all of Vince's faults, this was a good thing he did, and let's remember this good thing that he did, please.
Yeah, I think highly rated.
We've got all kinds of other days that we can talk shit about Vince. Let's not do it tonight.
Yeah. I will say also, Emmanuel, considering the man is no longer in the WWE, there's a very good chance that Owen will be celebrated soon. It might not be right away, but I think someday he will be acknowledged in the WWE Hall of Fame now.
Oh, you didn't know? Yo ass better call somebody. Shortest match of the night, y'all. Shortest match of the night.
Oh, yeah.
Just go ahead and break it down.
I still have an email that's Road Dogg's name.
Wait, you still have an email that's Road Dogg's name?
Yeah, I have my email's roaddog_690651 at Yahoo. I created it in like 96, 97.
Dude, that has to be backed up with like intense amount of spam at this point. You know what you should do?
Every now and then I clear it. I still use it. I clear it every now and then.
Dude, you shouldn't clear that. You should have fucking read all the spam mail for like a series.
All right, cut the spam, cut the music. The RLAD DOWG is about to speak.
Dude, that would have been hysterical.
Welcome to the doghouse.
All right, JJ, this is all you. I ain't saying no word.
I'm not going to do it tonight because, as was proven last night, I forgot some of the shit he did when he was a solos.
Fair.
Oh, I still remember. Payach!
If Conan was the cool Latino rapper and R-Truth was just the natural black rapper, then freaking Road Dogg was the Backstreet Boys of pro wrestling.
No,
him
no,
and
he
Kate
was
Quick
more of
used to
the
come out together.
Everlast.
Yeah.
He was more like
true.
Everlast. He was that southern white boy that still had the flow.
Yeah, true. You're not wrong. He did have the flow. I'll give him that.
And
It's
about
just
me,
the
it's about the
cadence
King of
is
Harts,
crazy.
baby. Good banner right there. Owen will miss you.
Yeah.
Knowing damn well they printed that off of their printer at home, probably had the holes across the top from the perforation.
Probably took about an hour to print that. Remember how slow printers were back in
Seriously,
'99?
dude.
I don't need to talk about PC blues when I worked in IT now in 2024 for 13 years and going. As we have the WWF Intercontinental Champion, the Godfather, making his way to the ring, and of course, this was the original match
He
that was
doesn't even
supposed to
have his
happen.
title. Did
Yeah,
you
what the
you
fuck?
notice that?
He's missing something besides the title.
I was saying, what are you referring
Maybe
to?
one of his
Walter?
hosts has the championship.
there
Yeah, there it is.
Oh,
Okay.
there it
Oh
is.
Lord, here we go.
One of his hosts has the belt.
Of course.
I was
Now-
gonna say he doesn't even have the title.
Now,
Didn't
fun.
Lita start off as one of his hoes?
Yes. Once upon a time. Fun fact about these hoes actually tonight. What a sentence. Fuck me.
Yeah, what a follow-up sentence, James. Keep going.
Right?
So you'll notice that like all the times that Godfather brought out his hoe train, that they were dressed scantily and clad. In honor of Owen, Godfather's tribute tonight was to actually have him dress more, casual
Conservative.
and conservative. That's why they have the black
That's why
dresses
they're in the
that
black
just look
gowns.
really
That makes
nice.
sense.
Yeah. And they're as tribute to the Blackheart, essentially. So they're
Right,
still
that
his
makes a
hoes,
lot
but
of
he
sense.
dressed them up for this occasion in tribute to Owen.
Godfather
This
defending the WWF Intercontinental
I
Champion.
did not
belt tonight.
know that. I did
Yeah.
not know that, James. That's a great little tidbit there. Thank you for that.
The only reason I know is because I'm a Charles Wright.
And this isn't
Well,
just
me
a
and Jeff
gimmick
are
for
Charles
him.
Wright haters because we tried to get an interview with him when we
Yeah.
went to Vegas for the Pipe Bomb Raw, and he kayfabed us, told us he doesn't do wrestling anymore. Then this bastard shows up for the fucking show.
I mean, you can't.
So
you
fuck
can't
him on
be
a personal
mad about
level.
him for
But I
that.
love
Yeah.
the Godfather.
This isn't just a gimmick for him because he runs an escort service in Vegas for real. So
Well,
Yes.
not an escort service. He runs Cheetah's strip club. And most
Yeah,
of the
it's a
time
strip
he's
club,
with
bro.
his strippers.
Yeah, he's not actually a pimp.
Most of the time, the girls he had with him were his strippers.
Yeah.
I
But
ain't
every
saying
now and again, you'd get a debut for somebody that would be somebody later. Lita was a hoe. Victoria was a hoe. Victoria, I think, was the hoe that won the hardcore title.
Yes.
Yeah. And remember him always trying to break Undertaker, bringing them out, trying to break his character because they were friends in real life.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Hey, Undertaker, you want to take one of these hoes?
And the match is for the
Bell
WWF
rings.
Intercontinental Championship.
But
Wait a
hold
minute.
up.
Here's the offer.
You know what, Road Dogg? Instead of the two of us kicking the hell out of each other, especially today,
That's fair.
why don't you and these women go down to downtown St. Louis, light it up all night long?
Oh Lord. So
Road
crowd saying
Dogg's
go
got
for
the
it.
mic. What do you say? Me and you go burn one and tell Samoan stories.
And
Match is over. They're leaving the ring.
Well,
And
match
thus,
Like I
ends in a
said,
no
shortest
contest.
match of the night.
As the
And
match
thus-
ends in a no contest. Okay then.
I wouldn't put it past them that they actually went and did that.
yeah, for real.
For real though.
Yeah, they
X-Pac
really did.
too.
Yeah.
X-Pac probably joined them too.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we can, Emmanuel. If not, I apologize for the
We probably can say
demonetization.
ho. I just decided to call them women because they're actually dressed conservatively.
They are dressed
We go now to
conservatively.
Paul Bearer.
I will say I'm talking about the gardening tool just in case.
Oh damn it, James, you freaking idiot.
Hey, I'm a genius. I saved us in case.
Paul Bear talking about Owen.
Paul Bearer with a little poem for Owen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you brought up X-Pac, and here's X-Pac.
Said his name and he appeared. He's not Joe Hendry. He's Sean Waltman.
Ah.
Yeah, but I believe in the humble humility that X-Pac is showing here. Again, talking about, the sense of humor that Owen Hart had, and the humor that you all have been sharing amongst yourselves.
True.
Hey, man, we're trying to make light out of what was a dreadful situation.
I admire that.
Yeah.
We're still trying to handle the situation with kid gloves, so to speak, and be respectful, especially when we get to the matches. And some of the people that are speaking, we're just disregarding, and I do apologize to the viewers with that. But we also want to kind of tell some of our own memories and stories as well.
Yeah.
But
There's the handshake, by the way, that finally ended the Nation and DX feud all that time later. There you go.
What a freaking treaty. What a treaty to freaking bring peace.
I know Taker had to open a few Jack Daniels in the memory of Owen this night.
Yeah.
You notice Undertaker, ominous by his absence here. WWF champion, won the belt the night before, but he's not on the card because, again, the devil on an Owen Hart tribute, probably not the best thing to do.
Yeah.
As we transition to what does everybody want?
Oh, Lord.
Some head. No, I need some head. What?
What does everybody need?
Some head.
You notice he's not wearing his traditional Job Squad shirt. He's wearing a black shirt in tribute to Owen as well.
Yeah, I will say, as far as what was the thing we were talking about prior to that? Now I forget.
X-Pac, the Nation of Domination, and the treaty.
Yeah, no, it was. I swear it was something else.
And of course, talking about the 1999 King of the Ring.
I'm too tired to remember.
which my mama ordered because, of course, it was in June.
There you go.
Yes.
Oh, well, there's your favorite
Al
theme,
Snow
JJ.
versus Triple H. Yep.
Oh boy.
And again, does everybody agree with me that this is not the greatest Triple H theme?
It is. But trust me, none of the H's in Triple H stood for head.
No.
Quadruple H.
Triple H alongside China here going one-on-one against Al Snow.
I don't know, man. I always thought that the triple for Triple H stood for triple head. He was living like a rock star, to be fair.
One of the most aggressive,
sinister,
cerebral competitors in the WWF at the time.
I'm not going to make the comment that I want to make. It's not in good taste on this evening.
I'm just going to focus on the monitor and do my job here.
It's 1 a.m. on the East Coast. Make whatever joke you were gonna make.
No, seriously, it's not the right episode to do that.
He still has his head on straight, Walter. Keep in mind.
It's like I've had an alcoholic beverage and I still have enough taste to not make that joke right now.
We still have open mic night to go. So
yeah. We'll make the joke on open mic night.
Triple H taking Al Snow down. Al Snow with the drop down. Nice leg lariat. Catch Triple H coming in.
Is that a knee brace on Triple H?
Yes.
One of what
you
would
have
be
to figure
many.
He did have knee surgery shortly after that ladder match against The Rock. He had to forfeit the IC title. Ken Shamrock won it in the tournament.
And then, of course, he came back one of the loudest pops of all time in the business.
Well, no, that was after his quad injury.
That was after the quad tear.
Which probably was started from the knee injury and then the freaking wooden pallet.
He just exaggerated to the quad tear then, basically.
Yeah, it happened when he did the spine buster. It just
I'm about to say the spine buster to the table. Yeah. Up and over, Al Snow goes. Triple H, though, catching him, though, with the running knee strike.
I'm convinced.
That trademark high knee.
I'm convinced it was the knee injury from the first injury he had, like the first major injury, and then, if you remember the street fight he had with Cactus Jack, the freaking wooden pallet going straight into his calf muscle, I'm convinced that had a lot to do with his quad tear.
I wouldn't be surprised if that didn't weaken it.
Yeah.
Triple H just letting in on Al Snow. And again, you look at this match on paper, and this is an easy victory for Triple H. But one of the things that you can never take away from Triple H is the fact that despite the reign of terror and what everyone wants to say about him, he was willing to make his competitors, with a little assistance from China there to Al Snow, he was always willing to make his competitors look like $1,000,000. You want any further proof of that? Look at I want to say it was his first or second title defense after winning the title shortly after SummerSlam in '99. Triple H versus Taka Michinoku
Nice
So
falling.
for the WWF title.
Steinberg,
We
grab
knew
suplex.
Taka wasn't going to win that match, but he made Taka look like $1,000,000.
Yeah,
He's doing the same thing with Al Snow here right now.
Cover by Triple H and Al Snow, 2 count.
A true company man. He did what was asked of him. I mean, look what he had to go through to fight Ultimate Warrior at WrestleMania. I had to job out to him. So
Well, part of that
he
was
paid his
punishment
dues.
for the click situation. So
Yeah,
oh, whatever.
yeah. And he lost his King of the Ring spot because of that.
Oh, Al Snow stopping himself with the Irish whip. Catching Triple H out of the corner.
Funny how the
Double
world
underhook
works.
and a headbutt to the heart right now. Al Snow face to face with Hunter Hearst Helmsley.
Funny how the world works because
flare flop.
he got in trouble for the click incident. They took King of the Ring away from him, but then Stone Cold was born out of that. So
That body
it's
drop.
funny how the universe works.
Exactly.
And then the two would go on to be the 2-man power trip after having a blood feud. Funny how everything worked out.
There's a reason why you don't
going up
put
top
logic and
here.
wrestling in the same sentence.
Triple H had his little funny moments, like that flare flop, or when Lillian called him the former world heavyweight champion.
Off
and
the
he
top
chased her
rope,
halftime
double
ring.
spot and crashed and burned
That
into
was-
the mat.
Dude, that was absurd, dude. That was crazy. To
Perfectly
this day.
set up.
Pedigree.
And
Game
he hits
over.
it.
Shoot the half, hook the leg, the cover.
Dos,
Triple H with the win.
tres.
I will say, like, that was one of the craziest visuals is he's chasing after Lillian Garcia. Lillian is like hauling ass on her heels.
Yep.
Like
Yeah.
legit like marathon running to get away from her.
See Triple H pointing to his heart saying, Owen, you're in here.
Yeah, dude, he was super affected by this, I think, because like I think there was a reason he has the schedule as light as he does now for WWE. I think a lot of that has to do with this show.
Yes, we go
That's
to Road
probably
Dogg here.
That's probably accurate.
Oh,
And Road Dogg talking about again the family connections there.
Road Dogg can barely get 2 words out.
Which is something to say for that guy.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy how it takes a tragedy like this to break down a superhero. We always think about wrestlers as real life superheroes. And to
Joe
see
Briscoe.
superheroes break down and cry, it's
Yeah.
like watching Superman cry, like watching Batman cry, Captain America cry.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was still a new fan at this point. Owen Hart's death affects me more today than it did here.
Fair.
You know, back here, and I'm gonna sound like an asshole, but it's very much like when the president would take up the TV. It's like, can I just have my normal fucking Raw? What are you doing with this bullshit? Like, I don't care.
I honestly
'Cause-
don't remember what I was doing during this time when I was 7 years old.
Because I wasn't even a fan for a year yet at this point.
I was still sucking on my baby bottle at 2 years old or something. I don't know.
I've been a fan since 5 or 6 when my uncle introduced it, so this still affected me at 16 years old. Me and my friends sat around the lunch table. I'll never forget. We had our own moment of silence the next day for him.
See, it's like I would talk to my buddies about it, but I wasn't connected to Owen yet.
My mom was more connected to Owen because, again, my mom brought me into the business as a fan, and it started with a member of the Hart Foundation versus the British Bulldog, and it wasn't Owen. But I learned who Owen was as I progressed in the fandom.
I just found out my uncle still watches wrestling to this day. We were talking about it. You know, unfortunately, we got the bad news that that he has cancer, and me and my aunt just somehow talked about it that he subscribed to my YouTube, and we were talking about NXT, and he told me he still watches. I was like, wait, what? So
He's still
I
keeping
gotta-
up with the morning product.
Yeah, I got to take him to a show, man.
Respect.
Don't take him to an AEW show because I swear to God he's probably not watching.
Yeah.
You never know. Well, there. That being said, Big Show now, the
And
largest.
it's crazy to think in May of 1999, Big Show was still using this song.
Yeah.
Right? You just saw the way that Big Show just leaped over the top rope from the apron, though.
Yes,
Yeah.
the agility of that big man with
500
his
pounds.
double braided ponytail.
Which
Doing what he does best.
I don't know, man. That jump, that top rope leap was pretty impressive.
That was a
And
Big Show
here
tried
comes
that
the
now.
Blue
He would-
Meanie and Gold Dust.
The
if
man
Big
used
Show
to do
tried that now,
drop
he'd
kicks.
tear his quad worse than Vince did in 2005.
I am so pissed that to this day, you can't do any of the things that got you over. You can't do them. You just can't do them. I'm over here like, why would you not want this dude to be a big hoss and just be like a stereotypical giant? Why would you limit him like that? Dude could leap over the top rope. He could do drop kicks. He could kip up. He could elbow drop people. Like, why would you limit his abilities like that?
Because it didn't fit Vince's narrative.
Oh my fucking!
Let's go.
Not-
Goes
no,
one-on-one with the Big Show
not
here.
today.
Blue Meanie,
No.
of course, in the corner. Certainly gonna be an interesting bout here.
Dustin or Goldust is no small man, but look at him next to Big Show. Goldust goes 6'6", 6'7". So look
But
at him
Goldust
next
just
to
threw
Big
Big
Show.
Meanie into Big Show. Blue Meanie right now trying to take Big Show off his feet. Good luck with that.
And what I crack up at is you look at the Blue Meanie, and in the Blue World Order, he was Razor Ramon.
Oh,
He
the
was
low
Scott
blow.
Hall, the blue guy, instead of the bad guy.
I guess this is a handicap match, so there's no disqualification. Big Show breaks the banner. Wow!
And of course, Goldust history with Razor Ramon when he tattooed or when he drew the little heart over his chest for
Going
Razor
up.
Ramon in '96.
Coming down.
Planted!
Are you kidding me?
One for Meanie too.
Blue Meanie, no small man, and he's
Going
getting
up.
picked up with ease and
Oh,
getting
good
held
lord.
up.
Oh, God!
Coming down.
A delayed choke slam.
Double pin.
Lateral press,
1,
Big Show
2,
wins.
3. And again, I will never hate on the Blue Meanie. I can't hate on somebody whose gimmick is based off of a Beatles movie.
I can't either, man.
Look at this flying clothesline, though. You can't hate
Dude.
Vince.
This is why I'm so pissed, because he was so good. He should have just been. I can do high flying things as well. I'm not your stereotypical big guy.
Commercial
You
airliner.
commented about them having an armband for Mark Henry. I think they needed 2 for the Big Show.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Now we go backstage with Deborah this
Okay,
time.
here we go. This was the other hard one, other than Jeff Jarrett, is Deborah's. She wants his kids to see this when they grow up. In the short time she's been there, she's spent a lot of time with Owen. The world's definitely lost a great person.
The most visibly choked up.
She wishes everybody could have seen how funny he was. Didn't matter if it was a good or a bad day. Owen would be happy and cheery and make her laugh. He'd always mark over her hand when they were doing autograph signings and make up funny words. You take people for granted because you're always with them.
Back to what we said earlier.
She felt like the shorts were too tight on her for over the edge. And the last thing she was saying to him, she was basically complaining. And she looked at her sheet this morning. They had a lot of stuff they were supposed to do together this week.
Oof.
Life is precious.
Life's a vapor.
Don't take people for granted. Owen, you touched her life, brightened her day.
Yep.
She'll definitely miss him.
Jeez. Someone's echoing, but I don't think it's no smoke. I just hear it a little bit.
She keeps looking for him and can't believe that he's gone.
Wow, that hurts, man.
Yeah.
Again, it was like her friend on the road.
Yeah.
Probably the only one in the freaking back that was treating her with actual respect during that time, to be fair.
Seriously,
I-
when you figure that Jerry Lawler treated her like a piece of meat with the whole puppies commentary and everything,
Yeah.
and Owen always treated her with dignity and respect. You know, I can feel where she's coming from. I mean, I can't
Well,
compare it to a death or anything
Mhm.
like that, but I remember when I was working at Walmart and
Mhm.
one of my best friends just like quit out of nowhere. And I asked the first day, was like, oh, where's, so and so? They're supposed to be here. Oh, she didn't come in today. No one told me that she had quit. She wasn't working there no more. The next day, where's so and so? Supposed to be here. She didn't come in today. Finally, after almost a week, they told me that she had quit. And then, like, there were days, like a week or so later, where I swore she was in the room and she wasn't there. So I can totally relate to where Deborah's coming from on that. Granted, again, nothing as tragic as what happened to Owen. Wasn't a death, but I can relate to,
Yeah, your routine getting
looking for
disrupted.
somebody that is always there for you and
Yeah.
help make the workplace a better place for you.
Shane McMahon,
Yeah.
by the way, was the last one that just spoke.
Yeah. And
Hello, ladies.
Oh Lord,
It's okay, Noah.
I'm fine.
Hey, we had the pimp earlier. Now we got to have the porn star.
of course.
This
1999.
was the
Well,
Attitude Era.
despite the fact we live in cancel culture, the fact that those two things you just said are pretty much more normal in this day and age just goes to show how much humanity has degraded.
Do you remember what their tag team name was? Like, they didn't call them it outright on TV, but they had an unofficial tag team name when Val Venus and Godfather teamed with each other. Do you remember what it
Yes.
was?
I remember.
Supply and Demand.
Mhm.
The pimp and the porn star.
Of
Yeah.
course.
I'm a little surprised Val didn't come out with a black towel.
And it probably should have, to be fair. I will say, folks, we're not done after this match and the final segment. There's actually one more thing left. So a
Yes,
little
there
Brucey
is.
bonus.
Yes, there is. And once Austin is done with his final segment, if you can pause so I could set up the other thing real quick, please.
I think it's in the stream you gave me, but yeah.
No,
I
no,
can
no.
Hit
pause.
pause.
It
Oh,
is,
the
but I'm just saying
backdrop.
pause the video so I can like set up what we're going to see.
As the
Right,
People's
okay.
Champion, The Rock makes his way to the ring to go one-on-one with Val Venus.
Again, with that
Elvis
heavily
sideburn.
taped, casted arm after having it ripped off by Triple H last night at Over the Edge. The quote unquote broken arm of The Rock.
Maybe not broken, but certainly damaged without the post-match insult by Triple H, to your point.
Yeah,
I
to
think.
Emmanuel's point, another mismatch. But again,
Yeah.
got it.
Yeah, the ovation, though,
I
definitely
will
raises the
still
spirits.
stand on and die on this hill that at this point in his career, Vince Russo knew how to book the talent that he had, knew how to find a place for every fucking buddy on a card, and knew how to utilize young and experienced veteran talent. When he went to WCW, he tried, and there were too many politics to really allow him to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
To be fair,
Sorry,
though,
I stopped so The Rock could speak for a moment.
Yeah,
no.
The Rock just hit him hard.
Mr. Third Person.
And he asked. Traditional line.
But to be fair, a lot of the tribute shows, a lot of people that traditionally wouldn't face each other faced each other because it was just tributes to the people that they lost.
Yeah.
When this is your night and The Rock loves you like no other. So The Rock, along with the millions
And
and millions of fans, dedicate the People's Elbow tonight to you. If you smell.
I still can't get over that. The freaking sideburns with The Rock.
Right?
The only person that knew how to wear sideburns at the time
Mm-hmm.
and could pull it off.
Doing his cowboy Bob Orton impression with the damn cast, because you know that's just a weapon at this point.
Bell Rings are underway here, and the Rock and Val Venus right now going one-on-one here on Raw Is Owen.
Val Venus coming in with fists of fury, trying to get the upper hand early on against The Rock.
And you look at this match on paper, it might be a mismatch, but both men, similar build here. Bit of a heavyweight fest also when you consider both men's styles, more strikers than technicians.
Yeah,
I would consider it an upset victory, though. Val Venus did beat The Rock.
The Rock is 6'6", 275. Val's about 6'5", about 260. So it's not much.
What the fuck?
The Rock bottom!
No, you're kidding me, right?
Kicks the arm in.
You tried calling it last night. How about you try and actually get it pulled out here tonight?
Throws the elbow pad. Here we go. The most electrifying move in sports entertainment history. The People's Elbow finds its mark. Rock goes for the cover. Hooks the leg. 1, 2, 3.
And The Rock with the win.
What the fuck?
And to think that move started as a dare. They dared The Rock to do.
You got to keep in mind, James. You got to keep in mind, James. They tried to fit 10 matches into 2 hours with commercials and tribute segments. They weren't going to give people 10, 15, 20-minute bangers.
It wasn't about wrestling matches.
Yeah,
it was about honoring Owen Hart. Simple as that.
This wasn't a 3-hour Raw.
Yeah, this was a 2-hour Raw in the Attitude Era, which already had shorter matches. And they were trying to fit the backstage tribute segments, commercial advertising, and everything else.
And the people talking the tributes, yeah.
And speaking of which, we got one more tribute to go.
Yeah, you see Jerry, King Lawler, and JR, of course, talking at ringside. And again, to your point, there is one more key component.
Lawler saying, don't ever leave home without telling the people at home what you think of them.
Yeah, because you might be seeing them for the last time.
He was choked up when he said that, man. He was front row with JR. They both saw. I don't know if JR saw the initial impact, but I remember Jerry said he saw him crash.
Both of them saw the impact. Lawler went into the ring and was with Owen for the entire time there. And this has always been an intriguing tribute to me, because you figure Stone Cold Steve Austin, or I will say his real name, Steve Williams, held a lot of animosity with Owen for that botched pile driver at SummerSlam 97.
Yep.
He held a lot of animosity and hatred towards Owen, and the fact that Owen never came to check on him, he thought it was intentional.
Well, yeah.
But Steve Austin, the character, did what was right for business as the face of the company here, still came off to the ring, probably against his better judgment.
Yeah.
And closed the night with this toast, and then left the beer in the ring for Owen Hart. You can see him kind of talking to Owen, but you wonder what he's really thinking. Because of the animosity and the hatred. And you see him actually drinking it, not just spilling it like normal.
Rest in peace, you son of a bitch.
That actually,
said, leaves the other beer in the ring as we go to our tribute graphic. And then, pause. We can speak for a couple of minutes, and then I'll set up the next thing we're going to see.
Yeah, and to your point, JJ, it takes a real big man to humble himself, to remove himself from that history of animosity, to come out tonight and offer ultimately the biggest eulogy you could, a beer wiser toast in honoring Owen Hart.
For the people that are watching the Discord and the video, we will unpause it in just a moment. give us just a moment to digest, process, discuss what we just watched, and then, like I said, I want to set up the clip that we're going to see next.
Yeah, I think
First things foremost, gentlemen, thank you for covering me this evening. I know, Noah, you always say priorities over passions. You know, I wasn't sure I was going to be able. 1 minute they're telling me I'm going to be at work until 11:30, and the next minute they're saying, you know, we got enough bussers. You can go ahead and go home if you want to. And my back was killing me, so I took the opportunity.
Fair.
So I appreciate you guys, Walter. I appreciate you jumping in, having me, James, running the booth for us while I wasn't sure what my status was going to be for tonight. Thank you, gentlemen, as this was my brainchild to do. I appreciate you guys all being here for me in what I thought was going to be my absence. It's still really hard to go back and watch these 5 hours that we've covered these last 2 days.
Yeah.
Noah, I don't think you have ever seen it. James, I'm not sure if you'd ever seen it or if you remember seeing it when you were young.
I saw
Walter, you're a little bit older like I am, so I know you'd seen it and probably had a little bit more recollection, but I'm gonna go to Noah first since he was part of this with me for both nights. What was going through your head as you're watching this footage, as you're watching JR trying to cover things last night, as you're watching Jerry Lawler come back to the commentary booth and bringing people up to speed, as you're watching JR announcing that Owen has passed away, and then reliving this tribute show tonight? Like, what are your initial guttural reactions to seeing all this footage, maybe for the first time, maybe only for the second time in your life?
It's kind of surreal figuring that you're just sitting back as a fan, engaging in what you love and what was called sports entertainment at the time, and you're following this show and reacting to the storylines, and where everything is scripted, theatric, reenactments and portrays. You get a real life situation that really pulls back the curtain, and really your mood turns the page. It is surreal to see how not only just that happened, but the fact that it just, it was surreal. Again, there's not really much more you can say about that. You don't expect anything like this to happen during a show. You don't expect somebody to die during something that is truly, you would think, no more different than something you see out of Hollywood. And then seeing, them pull back the curtain on all current activities being portrayed and booked and scripted in the WWF to just bring this moment of release, happiness, and, encouragement to be a better person, respect one another, support each other, treasure your families. I mean, I literally say it at the end every night of our freaking cues here. It's wild to think that, again, before social media was a thing and IWC even was defined, there was a moment where the world stood together in silence and in humility, honoring the fallen. And even if you weren't a fan of the WWF, the fact you could relate this to a family level made it that even more immersive and personal. It really is something to take you back. And to this day, looking at it now, even if I don't truly recall seeing it originally, I'm sure my mom did. I'll probably talk to my mom more about this verbatim during our barbecue after the King and Cream Wing thing. It's just, again, the key word to me is surreal. To really look at this now, back then, here in the present, 25 years later, and so much of what was encompassed in that event translates now to all of us here in life. So again, it's just surreal. I really don't have anything else to say, especially as somebody that doesn't show himself a lot of emotions. I'm not somebody that's outward expressive. You guys see this guy that's channeling his inner fandom, his passion as a storyteller for professional wrestling, damn it, that is encouraged to show more of a personality through your super chats, humiliations, the overall love and support for the human being that I am. And I always will treasure that. But even with my own family, when I'm in a state of emotion, I'm not one to show it outwardly. I shut myself down.
Yeah.
And again, right now here, as a guy that's not even good at words, being born and mentally delayed, took speech and mental health and physical therapy classes, it is just surreal. The bottom line, though, don't take human life for granted.
Yeah. You said you were how old when this happened?
I was 7.
7, yeah. This, and again, like I stated during the show, I was still a new fan. This didn't affect me the way that it does now.
Right.
But going back, like for me, this was the first moment in wrestling that was one of those, like you said, almost world unifying moments. It's like you can ask around the people that were alive, and they will tell you where they were when Kennedy was assassinated. You can find out from people where they were when the Challenger exploded, when the Berlin Wall collapsed. This is on that level for wrestling fans.
Yep.
People that were alive, they can tell you where they were when they found out that Owen Hart passed away during this event. And it seems kind of crazy to say that because, oh, wrestling's just that fake sport where, they don't really hit each other and it's not real. It's Hollywood acting. But the fact that an entire generation of fans can tell you exactly where they were when they got that information, I feel kind of like puts it on that national catastrophe type of level, It's
Yeah.
9/11. Again, that was the next big tribute show we had was the SmackDown after 9/11,
That
September
was
13th, 2001.
yeah. That was literally the first public
First
assembly.
public assembly of its
Assembly.
size after the tragedy of 9/11.
I was in
Yeah.
4th grade during that time too. I more can remember and correlate to that unity in honoring and humbling humanity than I can with this back then. But looking now at this here in the present, 2024, you look at what this was the launching pad to, and the next thing to fall, which was literally something that affected the way of life here in America as we know it too. It is damn right surreal. One word, it's surreal.
Yeah.
Walter, what are your thoughts about going back and reliving this? You're still younger than me, but you have a lot more of a fresher memory and you were older than Noah when this took place. What was it like going back and reliving it for you?
Yeah, it's hard. I'm the opposite of Noah. I'm a very emotional guy. I wear my emotions on my sleeves, and you guys know how I am. So it hurts to see this and remember this. This was like
Yeah.
the very like personal and tragic for me. I was such a wrestling fandom that I wanted to be a wrestler, and I felt like these guys were. I grew up on them, and they were a part of my life. Even as funny as it sounds, like you get into movies, you get into people, and you associate like TV shows and things with your childhood, and it's like
Yeah.
it's almost like I've never met the guy, but it's almost like I knew him, and it hurt. It's like I lost a friend or an uncle or somebody when Owen passed, especially any of them, especially Eddie. Like when Eddie was going, like I cried like a little baby, like I wouldn't answer my phone or anything. It's almost like you lose someone who's part of your family because you grow up watching this, and it hurts, it affects it. And like you were just pointing out what Stone Cold did and how he was able to put his personal feelings aside, but this probably taught him that maybe you shouldn't hold grudges, that life is too short. It probably taught him a lesson after that, because like stuff like this makes you think of your own mortality, and it really puts things in perspective for you. And what Jerry the King Lawler just said, don't leave your house without telling people you love them, because you really don't know when's the last time. Like I went through something similar like that. Like wrestling to me got me through my sister's death. My sister was murdered in 2001 on the same night that it was July 30th, 2001, which is the same night that The Rock came back on Monday Night Raw after being gone for so long. So it's like wrestling in my life, like so many things coincide. Like Owen died May 23rd. My firstborn son's birthday is May 23rd. So it's like wrestling means a lot to me. So for
That's
for
crazy.
for things, yeah, for things like this, And my other son is March 25th is his birthday. A lot of the WrestleManias were March 25th, and then the other one's March 29th, and 2 of the WrestleManias were on March 29th. So wrestling is just always intertwined with my life. It's just crazy to think about. So like when you see things like that, it hurts a lot. Like I associate wrestling with a lot of good times, but some of the painful memories as well in my own life. So it hurts to go back, but kudos to them to be able to remain professional and do it. A lot of people criticize them for the show must go on, but you guys pointed out how much money it would have cost them just to refund those, what was it, 20,000 people, whatever it was.
Not to mention the pay-per-view buys of people watching around the world.
You were easily looking at a $2.5 million loss.
Yep.
Which in 1999 would probably be equivalent to $5 or $6 million today.
Give or take. Yeah, give or
that,
take.
That's a lot of money to be coughing back.
And it was
James, check the private chat real quick.
Yeah, right. and before we even get go back to the tribute graphic.
And not to mention, this was also before WWF was a publicly traded company, so it would have been a huge incursion loss just within them.
Yeah, that's another big thing to be considered, but yeah, you brought up Eddie Guerrero, and that was the first one that like really hit me, because I eyeballed at that one. And then you pointed out the stuff that ties to wrestling dates. Yesterday was the 17th birthday for Cece's daughter, so she was also born on the day of Owen's tragedy. Or I should say the anniversary of the day of Owen's tragedy, because it would have been 8 years before her birth, but still. Like same type of scenario there. Like, James, you're the baby of the room,
right?
What's it like for you going back and revisiting this stuff?
I mean, so I was too young to understand at the time. But this didn't hit me as much then, but when the Eddie thing happened, I was around, it would have been 05. So I would have been getting right out of elementary, and that hit me like a ton of bricks because I loved Eddie. That was like my first, and that was like right after my Nana passed away too, and I really loved her, and that's when I first experienced death from that. So I really understood what death was in that moment. And so I think a few years after that is when I went back and looked at the Owen Hart tribute show with like fresh eyes. And I was like 10 back then. And I don't know why. I don't know what possessed me at 10 freaking years old to go back and research the Owen stuff. But I guess, I don't know if it was just empathy or, just some weird thing to try and torture myself with sadness, but like it was, something that I look back on and it was like, wow, like this guy meant a lot to a lot of people. And he was, not only was he a great wrestler, but he was a great human being from every account. And that's really when it hit me. And like, wow.
Not to mention, he was also a father, and as somebody who lost their father at a very young age and had to learn what it meant to be a man, screw being a teenager at a very fragile, stressful time, to the point that his high school journey was almost destroyed, had to completely reset and rebuild myself. It's just one of those things where good old JR says it best every time I listen to his podcast. Tomorrow is never guaranteed.
Yeah. And to me, and I guess I'll close it off with this. It's like, so many people want to give crap to them for keeping the show on, but you guys already pointed it out. The only thing I'll add to it is like, it was a deficit that they could not afford to lose. And whatever political stance you want to take with that, the bottom line is this, and this is just from the Owen aspect of it. You stop that show, you kill the WWF, you take away people's jobs to provide for their families, which Owen Hart would not have fucking wanted. Period. End of story.
Simple as that.
So I never want to hear that fucking argument again. As far as that goes, I think the saddest bit of that and the moral of the story is it really didn't need to happen. And I still understand why Martha reacted the way she reacted, because it was so negligent at the end of the day, you know?
No,
And
I
that
agree.
sucks.
Right.
It sucks. That's like the worst part of it, is it all could have been prevented, and that's why it hurts even
And
more.
when you know the backstory that he really didn't want to actually do it, he had to be convinced. He kept saying no, he didn't want to do
Yep.
that. He was scared of heights, and he really didn't want to do this.
Yeah. It is tragic, and it is, you know, like you pointed out, it is something that could have been avoided. It's a shame.
Yeah.
Very quickly before we go on to the final part of our presentation, Emmanuel asked if he could pop on real quick.
Yeah.
Say something, so I'm gonna bring him on.
Yes.
Turn on a light, Emmanuel. Jesus, can't even see you.
It's on. It's just like I'm far away from the light. It's something's covering it. So I'm
Okay.
like I
Well,
need
hear
to
your
be on
voice.
stand for it. Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
So, Emmanuel, what are your thoughts on either experiencing this for the first time or reliving it for the first time, probably since it originally aired?
Yeah, it's reliving. It was kind of hard to see this. To be honest, seeing it again, because when I was 13, like seeing on television, and I heard JR announce the seriousness of the nature, and it was like what's going on, like what's happening, like, and that with the situation of Owen, what happened, and then the announcement when they said that he had passed on, he had died. I was like in kind of shock and all. I was like sitting there, like wondering, is this true? Like, I hope this is not like a storyline, like in any way. And then just to see the news that there that day going that the superstar Owen Hart had passed away, and that's what hit me. I'm like, wow, like, and like I like, for me, like, since I only see WWE, like, he's always been that heel. He was never really that baby phase, only in his early career, and that's even like a spacey experience. Like, most of his run was a heel, so it's kind of like hard to see Monday Night Raw, hearing all these nice things about him. Like, wow, like, I can't believe such an amazing man, like, being talked about, like how much he met them, and like, and it's kind of sad that a lot of people blame WWE negligence and everything like that. I mean, like, what, like, unfortunately, like, accidents happen. I mean, like, there was not their attention to, like, for him to die out there. Unfortunately, like, it is what it is. Like, I understand business perspective. Like, they would have lost a lot of money. A lot of people think that should have been stopped, but what can you do? I mean, like you said, there were lost like millions of dollars, and it was really hard to see by the tones that of the people talking. Like, it hit home like a real that you don't really have much time to say to the people that you love, because someone like in today's culture, like, no, you have to be brave. I don't need to say I love you to people. I don't need to say I care about them or they mean something to me because they think I'm weak. Like, that's not what how we are brought up. Yeah,
That's that macho bullshit.
Yeah, the macho bullshit. Yeah, exactly.
Accurate.
So in today's era, we need to start consider people's feelings, consider people's other point of views, even though if we don't believe in them, that's their choice. We could be wrong. Maybe we don't see something for me with Owen Hart, I didn't see that in the end, but now that the light was revealed that night, like kayfabe had died that day, because I
Yeah.
didn't know he was such an amazing person. How much of a father, how like he had a family with wife, like an uncle, like and all this. I'm like, wow, how can they do that? Like with the leaving their family each and every night just for our entertainment, and that's why whenever I had the opportunity, I say thank you for sacrificing your body, thank you for doing this for us on a daily basis, and be thankful for a fan. Thank you for having me for a little bit. Thank you. See you tomorrow.
Real quick, Emmanuel, before you leave, I have a question. Was that legitimately like the first time you realized, oh wow, this is real life, this isn't the show?
Oh yeah, like it's just the first time in the wild, because
Wow.
1997, I lost my uncle in a hit and run drunk driver, but but I didn't know 1999 in wrestling, like people could die in the ring. I'm like, and that it opened my eyes, like just you hear the like draws, tests, and several others like Eddie Guerrero, like mentioned, like so many tragedies like in the wrestling industry. It hits hard as a fan. Like,
That's fair, because I
Yeah.
mean, that's why I made sure to point that out yesterday when we were doing the Over the Edge watch along, because again, wrestling is thought of as predetermined entertainment, fake, so it's like people needed to be made aware this was not part of the program. This was not supposed to happen.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And to Emmanuel's point, it's really one of the first times where that curtain was truly let down and people had no choice but to be like, look,
Yeah.
what you are witnessing right now, you were not supposed to see. It's the proverbial pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. The floating head is the Wizard of Oz, not the guy behind the curtain that's running the control panel.
Even I understand that reference.
Yeah, man, like that's a horrible way to. I am so sorry that's how your immersion got broken. For the record, Emmanuel, God, imagine that's your first realization that it's fake. Holy shit!
It happens. I mean, eventually I was gonna find out that, like, because the internet was
Right, but like that's what I'm saying. Like that had to be your first experience, and God, that must have been that was a double whammy at the time.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll
Like,
see you, Walter.
yeah, because kayfabe died that day for me. I start thinking otherwise about the heels and villains and baby faces perspective, because when I said at 13, I was all baby face. I didn't like any of the heels. As much as I know JJ's a big fan of The Rock. I wasn't big as a Rock fan, but as heel Rock per se. But it's like, but once that happened, I'm like I start to see rewatching the works of his work as a heel, and then like, you know what, I'm in just the situation. That's why I respect more heels nowadays in the future.
Take that down for just a second, James.
Yeah.
Walter's been very patient with his hand up that he wanted to say something.
Yeah,
then we'll get to your super chat. 26.2 miles outside parts unknown.
Yeah, I just want to say what's crazy. I mean, benefit isn't the word, but we had the benefit. If we watched it on TV, you heard JR give the announcement, give us the update, say anything. Imagine the people in the arena. They were pretty much in the dark. You can't hear what commentators are saying when you're in an arena live. And so they're announcing Owen Hart being dead. They're announcing that this isn't part of the show. Imagine what people live or what's going through their head, because they're not being told that. They can't hear any of the things we heard from JR say. So like it's got to affect them even more. And they're like, what the hell's going on in this show? Like imagine somebody, I would love to be able to talk to somebody who was there in person.
So yeah, they didn't have social media at the time either, which means they had no way for an update.
So I've got to imagine that in a situation like that, when a video package was running. Probably whatever video package ran right after JR made that announcement, which I think it was the Rock Triple H one.
Correct.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think that Howard Finkel or somebody had to have gotten onto the house mic and been like, ladies and gentlemen, we just received the word here in the building. Owen Hart has tragically passed away because of the incident that occurred
Yeah.
here tonight. You
Mhm.
got to figure somebody
Yeah.
made an announcement on that live house mic.
I think it was like right after the show went off the air too. Yeah, I think that's when they did it. But I actually talked to somebody that was there live. Like this is ages ago. I don't even have any contact with her now. But they said, you know, when JR made that announcement, the people right near JR and King in the front row heard what they said, and word quickly spread, and that's why later on in the match following you could hear like a fucking pin drop in that arena for a while.
That makes sense.
That's it, dude. It spread like wildfire. It was rapid after that was announced.
That makes sense. Yes, what's up there, Emmanuel?
Just kind of hard to because someone in the chat yesterday was pointing out that Owen's heart blood was in the other ring, but it was the gang girl sitting like he right like or was it legit Owens like kind of.
I think it was legit Owens because of the placement of it, but I will never know. It's a good point. It could have been some from the bloodbath, but the bloodbath pretty much caught everybody outside the ring.
Yeah, it's on the floor.
Not really inside the ring. I would assume some could have splashed off of them and gotten onto the apron, but not really 100% sure. And I believe it was Safet that was pointing that out, and he's in the chat right now. So
yeah.
But again, thank you, Emmanuel, for popping in. We're
Yeah.
going to get to the super chat real quick. We'll see you probably tomorrow in the chat.
Yeah,
room
I'll put my alarm for. Sorry about that.
No, it's okay.
I'll just burn. Yeah,
Emmanuel.
yeah. I'll put my alarm for it for the simply predicting that 7:30.
There you
Sounds
go.
good, bro.
Okay.
All right, peace out.
So let's get to the super chat real quick. 26.2 miles outside parts unknown sent a $5 super chat. Thank you very much. And thank you for your patience in addressing it. It says May 23rd, 1999, remembers coming home, turning on the TV. It was 10 p.m., Fox 11 News. That's how he found out. He was out with family celebrating his birthday.
Oh, wow.
That's crazy, man.
That's shitty. Oof.
All right, so let's go ahead and we're going to get to the bonus footage that we have here real quick.
Yes.
Everybody assumes that Raw is Owen was all we were going to cover tonight, but it was on October 4th, 1999, that WCW entered the same arena in Kansas City where the tragedy occurred for the first time since it occurred. And Bret Hart put on a classic, a match that is honestly referred to as Nitro's greatest match, against the Canadian crippler, Chris Benoit, in memory of Owen Hart. And we have that match that we're going to take a look at right now.
There we go, ladies and gentlemen. You guys have this one. I will be sitting in the green room I need to use the bathroom. So JJ might have to produce for a little bit while I do that.
That's fine. Got Harley Race in the arena here in Kansas City, Missouri. This is Race territory, man. This is his home.
Damn right.
That's a classy crowd,
original King of the Ring.
Mm-hmm.
That already goes to show you how important this moment is.
Just listening to the King speak.
Says that this right here means more to him than 99% of the matches he's ever had in his career. He gets to be the guest ring announcer for this moment. First bringing out the Canadian crippler Chris Benoit from Edmonton, Canada.
Capacity crowd on hand here at WCW Nitro.
7 years before we had to have a tribute of our own for this man. That's crazy.
Right. With his television championship, wearing an Owen Hart tribute T-shirt. Even the commentary team is saying we're not going to call this match as announcers, but as wrestling fans.
I love that.
And that's exactly what we're
doing.
doing for you guys at home, man. We're not paid television announcers. Benoit shaking Harley Race's hand and giving an embrace. We are wrestling fans, and we are here honoring the memory of Owen Hart. And yes, we understand what Chris Benoit did almost 10 years after this, but it's not about that right now. It's about a man who grew up admiring Owen Hart, idolizing Owen Hart, fighting the brother of Owen Hart in tribute to the man. So please keep your Benoit crap out of the chat room. It's not the night for that. Just like we said earlier about Vince, it's not the night for that.
As Harley Race is about to introduce.
Yeah, and I don't think there's an empty seat in that arena, man.
Nah, this was when WCW was still cooking as far as in-ring attendance. You know, the product was slipping, but they were still as hot as ever, selling out crowds. There's a sign said, Brett, this one's for Owen.
As the best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be. Bret the Hitman Hart makes his way to the ring.
Yep.
We talk about what went through
pink and black.
We talk about what we went through our minds. Imagine him, the brother of this man. What's going through his head right now?
Yeah, seriously, you got to figure the last time he was in this building was when him and Martha were in there empty and they were investigating the platform, you know, that he literally stepped off of before he plummeted to his doom.
That's crazy.
So imagine what's going through Brett's head right now.
Referee Nick Patrick for this match, honoring Owen Hart.
Sign says, "We miss you, Owen." Huge Owen chant from the crowd. Brett just looking out at the crowd in admiration because there's this moment, this unspoken dialogue right now between Brett, the crowd, Benoit, the crowd, and even the referee in the crowd. Long live Owen, says that sign. The bell rings. Noah, take it away.
And of course, also to your point, that second innate language we talk about, the invisible language between professional wrestlers versus that sixth instinct that they, of course, hold that unique capability of having. Two fine, defined technicians, two of the greatest that come out of the Great White North, Canada. You see Chris Benoit right now with the side headlock to Bret the Hitman Hart. Benoit short down. It's a one count, though. Bret Hart
still has that control there with that headlock.
You can say what you want, but these are your favorite wrestlers right here.
Accurate. Before Bryan Danielson and Zack Sabre Jr., there was Bret the Hitman Hart and Chris Benoit. Then prior to that, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat and Ric Flair.
I'm even going to throw Dean Malenko's name into that mix because not enough people from this generation talk about Dean Malenko, but Dean Malenko is one of those favorite wrestlers.
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
And he had
the Malenko family so admired that the Insane Clown Posse had an album called The Great Malenko.
Front off the ropes, the shoulder block takes Chris Benoit down to the drop down of Bret going off the ropes. Great agility shown by the Crippler. Hip up. Great scouting, though, by Bret. Stalemate here as Benoit slowed down Bret's momentum for now.
Just think about two graduates of the Stu Dungeon going at it now.
Seriously.
And
nice handshake there.
And now you have Tyson Kidd and Natalia, of course, holding the traditions of the Hart Dungeon currently. Bit of a touch of strength here. Tim, Greco-Roman knuckle lock here. Both men locked up middle of the ring.
And this is how you
they allow anybody that wants to come in to train that ability. It doesn't matter if you're an independent talent, if you work for TNA, AEW, WWE, NXT, you want to come into the new dungeon and perfect your craft, the door is open.
male or female. A straitjacket hold by Chris Benoit to Brett, bringing him down to his knees.
And this
Or
is how you do it.
transgender. The former Tyler Rex, who now goes by Gabby Tuft, has been in the dungeon reworking on the craft for a potential return to the ring.
Well, in this day and age, when you have binary and non-binary somehow trying to coexist in synergy amongst normal society, it's nice to know that there is a domain that pretty much there is no barriers to your identity.
Yeah, and I know how that is.
With a great hammerlock taking Bret Hart down to the mat. What were you saying, Walter?
I have a personal friend that her name is Aubrey, and she's been wrestling for years, and she's transgender, and she tells me about the struggles of being accepted.
I believe it.
Yeah, I can only
While
imagine.
maintaining control here.
And you see Chris Benoit right now still working the back, hyperextending the arms of Brett. Brett trying to reverse the pressure, though. Turn Chris Benoit around.
I love this is a straight up one-on-one match. You don't need gimmicks. You don't need anything. It's just let's go out there, do what we do best in the memory of Owen.
And that's professional wrestling, damn it.
No need to digress.
Never again. Benoit pushing Brett to the corner, looking to force the break. Oh! Jump backwards and catch him with the kick. And drop kick in the midsection. A snapmare there. And once again, going back to arm control, trapping the left arm. Look at the way Chris Benoit's positioning.
I was going to say, you figure with the crippler crossface, and the way he traps that arm, it's best to have it weakened before going for that. That way you don't have the arm strength to try to get your way out of it.
Chris Benoit has to focus on your shoulder. Brett has to focus on your legs and back to set you up for the sharpshooter.
The snapmare, and right now sleeper hold that focuses primarily on the neck.
A lot of people
before these two men being your wrestler, giving you an in-ring clinic every time that they lace up the boots and show you what they bring bell to bell.
It's funny. A lot of people don't make the connection that his nickname was the Rabbit Wolverine, and if you look at his pants, those designs, those little strips are supposed to be like a Wolverine ripping something to shreds. A lot of people don't know that. Yeah.
Well, I mean, from a poor resolution perspective, it does look like it's written away stripes like Tony the Tiger from your Frosted Flakes cereal box.
They are great.
And these two are great in the ring with what they do. Nice leg drop there across the throat of Chris Benoit by Brett.
Brett, the man who made it cool to wear pink.
For real. Real men wear pink.
Eat your heart out, Susan B. Coleman.
Bro was looking like freaking Terry Labonte from NASCAR and the Tony the Tiger Chevrolet.
God damn it, James.
Bret Hart right now teeing off against Chris Benoit in the corner. Even in close proximity of his opponent, wearing him down. And of course, this match is getting very physical now. We went from the technical aspect now to the physical aspect. Both men trying to wear each other down. Kick to the midsection. Knife edge chop by Chris Benoit creates separation.
God. It just sucked.
Benoit is one of those chops that I just would not want to take in the rain.
I was just going to say my chest hurt watching him do the chops.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, granted, I got chopped by the entire Battleground Pro Wrestling locker room, but Benoit, I think I'd be like, I'm good, bro.
Yeah.
It's Bret Hart doing one of his signatures. Loud press for a 2 count.
Mm-hmm. One of Bret's signature moves.
You see Bret backing away, letting the referee get the count here, giving Benoit opportunity to get to his feet.
Yeah, Bret holding
probably something Bret normally would not do, but in this unique circumstance and situation out of sportsmanship.
Roll up here.
Oh. Benoit looks like he's trying to turn it into a Boston Crab here.
Yeah, high angle.
I guess almost a lion tamer of sorts.
Yeah, I guess we would have to call it a counter, by the way. Great transition.
For this instance, did we call it a Canadian crab?
Well, they're not in Canada, but seems accurate.
Well, remember, Lance Storm called the half crab the Canadian maple leaf. So
I'll say, yeah, and Lance Storm, again, a whole different fixture of Canadian pro wrestling. You think about Canadian pro wrestling today with Josh Alexander, Jody Fret, Kenny Omega, Chris Jericho. The list goes on and on. And a 1 count, though, off the lateral press.
I mean, AEW just came off an entire Canadian tour.
Huge
The
back
backbreaker.
breaker
Benoit with the
there.
cover. 2 count again.
My Wi-Fi going in and out, guys.
Yeah, don't worry about
A
it.
little bit, but it's okay. We're able to keep up with it.
Thank God. All right, hold on.
WCW had to go to
Continues here.
commercial here during this matchup, but there is no commercials. We're right back. Huge elbow drop by Chris Benoit.
And the speed behind that, by the way, sliding it on. Now the lateral press, the forearm across the right shoulder. And Brett able to
Almost
kick out.
like a whipping elbow, like a snap one.
Brett able to scout the second one, though. Roll out of the way. Benoit elbow meets the canvas. And now Brett finding an opportunistic position. Oh, man. Driving his head into the midsection of Benoit. A little bit above the belt.
You know, watching people like Chris Benoit and Bret Hart always made me, when I wrestle or like wrestling, I always wanted to wear pants. I never want to be one of those people in traditional tights.
I always thought the wrestlers should wear pants. Cover, lateral press. 2 count again by Brett. I always thought that wrestlers should have worn pants primarily versus traditional tight shoes attire until I discovered New Japan Pro Wrestling and saw the Young Lion dojo disciplines. That's probably the only exception to the rule that I will make.
I mean, to be fair, it was the look at the times back then, way back when. So, yeah.
Bret Hart working the neck right now over Cravada sorts. Now transitioning, hoisting up Benoit. Backbreaker over the knee.
Yeah, just think about a sport that's as a carnival. This wrestling was a carnival act, and it turned into this.
It's such a shame that we'll never be able to relive this match and look back at it fondly because of the person Brett's facing as well, which sucks too. Another tragedy.
But again, that was a later situation, to your point.
Yeah, I think you had already stepped off camera when I already said that. We're not addressing Benoit or any of that, just like we weren't going to dwell on Vince McMahon. This isn't about that tonight. This was about paying tribute to Owen Hart.
Then Benoit's spine pushed up against the apron, the hardest part of the ring where wood meets steel. You see Brett right now working the back of Benoit, obviously softening him up for the sharpshooter, which applies heavy pressure to the lower spine.
Old school ring aprons before LED boards.
Yeah.
Damn right.
Old school rings, which were concrete at that point.
Yeah, about to say old school rings actually did hurt you. LED bruises you. Of course, again, this is a tribute match to Owen Hart. And to your point, JJ, earlier, you talked about the composure of Bret the Hitman Hart. Very slow and methodical, not going in recklessly here. Tilt-a-whirl backbreaker counter by Benoit, hooking up Bret in position. Looking for a pile driver possibly, and stacks him.
As a fan of The Undertaker, Tombstone never looked right when a short person does it.
That was an Owen Hart signature move, which is why Benoit connected with it right there.
Yeah, I get why.
Benoit is basically trying to emulate Owen Hart in this match. That's why Bret picked him. He was the closest competitor in WCW to being able to wrestle Owen style.
Especially with that delayed spike pile driver, putting Bret down for 2.5.
Well, considering the fact, too, he actually fought Owen Hart, I think.
German suplex, Northern Lights to the bridge, high angle, 2 count only.
I think he did fight Owen Hart as the Pegasus Kid.
I believe you're right there.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if he was Pegasus Kid or if he had already morphed into Wild Pegasus because he was no longer a kid, so to speak. But
I was about to remember.
I do believe it was a New Japan match there.
Yeah, I remember Wild Pegasus in my history of New Japan Pro Wrestling, but the other form of Pegasus, though, eludes me. The Irish whip, Bret up the ropes, and Benoit kitchen sink knee, bending Bret up and over.
A lot of great matches in
New
Japan with Lionheart as well.
Cover here by Benoit, 2 count only.
It's kind of like how Rey Mysterio Jr. was originally Colibre before being morphed into Rey Mysterio Jr. Chris Benoit was the Pegasus Kid before he morphed into the Wild Pegasus.
Benoit right now driving Bret's head into the top turnbuckle. Both these men taking a very slow approach here, looking to not make any mistakes. Give neither of their opponents any sort of leverage to try and mount a comeback.
I always find it funny that he was a junior when it was his uncle who was Rey Mysterio. It's not his father. So I always found it funny that he was a junior, but it's his uncle that had that moniker, not his father.
He was still the second Rey Mysterio,
Yeah.
so that's why they did that.
I'm about to say he had the
Yeah.
namesake, he had the family leniency, so there you go. Brett taking
Brett
control
driving
here,
those elbows to the head of Benoit.
and then a knee
Trademark
again.
heart action there.
Yeah, and then the knee again right across the bridge of the nose.
Yeah,
Brett
and
right
then
now is taking back control of this match. Now hooking up Benoit, possible backdrop, suplex.
Back suplex. I thought he was gonna go for his signature.
Here's the half
backbreaker
lateral
that he
press
does.
again, and a 2 count.
yeah, and then Dominic had to break the streak for Rey Mysterio. Stupid bastard.
I still think he'll become a Mysterio, masked superstar at some point.
I think
agree.
he'll be Rey Mysterio when his father bestows the honor to him. At
The
some point.
career versus the
Exactly.
mask type thing. Yeah.
Unless he
Exactly.
goes full heel and he's like, I'm Dominic Guerrero now all this time.
I mean,
He
if
was
it-
my pappy.
I mean, if they do that in Arena Mexico, I could see literally both outcomes, to your point. And
Ooh,
Brett
shoot.
crashes into the ropes.
Wow.
Benoit had it scouted there.
Bret Hart's
Yeah.
neck really snapped over that top rope.
And of course, those ropes, for those that don't know, those are solid steel cables, taunt to the highest degree.
Yeah, and people want to give
Benoit picking up speed
Goldberg.
right now, might be looking to fly on the top. Suicida drive Brett far up the entranceway to the outside.
People want to give like Goldberg a lot of crap, and don't get me wrong, he wasn't exactly the soundest of veterans in there. But you look at the way Brett bumps in this match, it's no wonder why he was getting concussions, bro. Seriously,
fair.
he bumped
This is
like a
100%
madman
accurate.
back then.
This
This
is
is
accurate. As this match continues to unfold here, honoring Owen Hart, Bret the Hitman Hart taking on the Crippler Crossface Chris Benoit here at WCW Nitro.
That's something Bret will never ever let go. Every interview he's ever had since, he finds a way to bring up a hate of Goldberg.
Yeah, true.
His hatred of Goldberg runs worse than the Iron Sheik's hatred for Hulk Hogan.
Exactly.
Up and over, transition with the waistlock. O'Connor roll, the cover by Benoit. Bret able to roll through though. Cover roll up here to near fall.
This was such a great match too.
And the finish, it's not the
It
first
is.
time they've wrestled each other before, but it's probably the most important time they have wrestled each other.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's one of the reasons why I thought it was so important to have this,
Oh.
especially when you figure how short the matches on Raw is Owen were. I feel
Yeah.
like we needed like a legitimate, good 10 to 15, possibly even 20-minute match here that was in memory of Owen Hart. And these two wrestling in the competition's promotion, by the way,
About to say.
I think did it beautifully.
Yeah, pure wrestling at its highest form right here, being demonstrated by two of the greatest to lace up the boots. Out of the Great White North, that backslide attempt by Benoit, shoulders down, and an air fall.
No.
Backslide. A simple pin like that hurts to hell. I remember my brother used to put me in those pins, man.
But
when we used
again,
to
I mean,
practice
it's
wrestling.
fundamental. You're literally
Yeah.
applying all your body weight downward, forward on your opponent's neck and shoulder blades.
Yeah, people don't realize
Plus,
that.
the blood is rushing to their head.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Exactly.
People don't realize that every little move in pro wrestling actually hurts. I'll give you a funny story of this being the case. I was fooling around with my dad one night, and he was gonna give me the Big Show style leg drop where he like kind of just sat on you
It's like Kratos, one packet, but Benoit. 2 count.
with his leg, right? And he does the move. There's only one problem. He didn't do it over the chest, which is how you're supposed to do it. He did it over my neck legitimately, and I was like 7, and he's like, I always thought that shit was fake. And
Neckbreaker.
he found out the hard way. Oh shit!
Hold
I'm
over,
not
Lara
doing that
pressed by
again.
Bret. 2 count again on Benoit.
So yeah, I almost died to a Big Show style leg drop from my father.
But considering that your
There you
larynx
go.
was nearly crushed, and of course, is where the trachea is, as well as the carotid artery that, of course, applies blood and functionality to the brain. Yeah, very high risk maneuver.
Yeah.
All right,
I clotheslined
Bret.
my
drop.
best friend over my back porch, but we were pretending like it was the ring, and I was supposed to clothesline him, and then he comes back. I legit clotheslined him too hard, and he somersaulted back over the railing.
Oh shit! He did the inside up bump.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll
That
never
dude's a
forget
worker.
that.
But Benoit Brett back up to his feet, catches Benoit, and takes out the base from underneath and purging him on the top turnbuckle.
Good for him. He's a worker. He'll make it far in this business one day.
No, he didn't mean to. It was the foresight clotheslined him with.
And Brett right now
Lord,
hooking
you
up
knew.
Benoit for a superplex.
Jesus.
That'll hurt for days. Could either man capitalize after this move? Both men down, middle of the ring.
Ref, do your job. Technically, Brett's head is on his chest. That's a cover.
Fans right now kind of alongside Nick Patrick. Count up to 7. Brett up to his
That-
feet first.
That's not Nick Patrick, is it?
No.
It looks like it's Nick Patrick, honestly.
No,
you're
no.
right.
I was about to say.
No.
if
Right
that's
now,
what-
Benoit trapping the arm, though. Might be looking for the crippler crossface.
You
He's
know
got
Nick
it.
Patrick. Nick Patrick has the weirdest form when he does the 3 count. His
Yes.
hand is it's the weirdest thing. I never liked how Nick Patrick counts the 3, but that's just me nitpicking.
Yeah, this guy actually looks.
We don't got to
competent
worry
compared-
about a 3 count here. Chris Benoit's got the crippler crossface locked in, wrenching Bret Hart's neck back.
But Brett
And he
able to
got it.
find his way to the ropes. Pure ring awareness and presence. While Brett was blind and his breathing was compromised.
Yeah, I was gonna say this ref actually looks competent compared to Nick Patrick, although that's not saying much.
Especially not back in those days.
No, he was awful for shoot and for work.
Front
Snap,
face lock,
snap.
snap German by Chris Benoit maintains control.
Other
One
one.
suplex goes for it again.
Ah,
The
the
hips and holds on.
The old 3
Third
amigos
time.
before Eddie claimed it to be that.
yeah. In fact, I'm pretty sure Benoit was the one who invented the move, and he's like, "Yo, why don't you use one of my old moves and make it your finish?" So
And of
Benoit
course,
invented the
dangerous
three
match
amigos.
technique to the high risk maneuver. The diving headbutt to the heart of the Hitman.
The move
Oof.
that over the years did the brain damage that triggered Benoit to more or less do what he did.
Yeah.
Cover.
And he was emulating the
Leg
Dynamite
and
Kid,
now.
who he loved. That was Dynamite Kid's signature move.
Yeah, for real.
Of course, we saw
The
the
brain of
recent-
an 80-something-year-old dementia patient.
Yeah.
Yeah.
First off, I don't understand why people use the headbutts. Diving headbutt or just straight up headbutts, especially Australians and Brits. But
Yeah,
nonetheless, talk
There,
about
there,
really
there's
juggling your
there-
brain.
there's a way to do the diving headbutt safely. There's a
Oh
way
my.
to do a headbutt to make it look like it hurts, but not actually hit your actual head.
I still can't believe Bryan Danielson does it after that
Yeah.
surgery. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
right?
it's because he does it differently now. He doesn't actually hit people with his head. He just makes it look like he hits people with his head.
Yeah,
There's
he
a
more
trick
so
that he
hits
does
them
with
with
it.
his shoulder.
Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly.
Almost a low range cross body of sorts.
His shoulder breaks his fall, so he's just doing damage to his shoulder. So yeah.
Yeah, Masa Kitamiya from Pro Wrestling Noah needs to take a page out of that book after what he did against Tomohiro Ishii. Hard busting his head open like Katsuri Shibata.
And Brett with a big
Irish-
elbow.
Yeah, Irish whip reversal into that back elbow there.
He invented the Judas effect.
I think he caught Benoit flush on the jaw too, man.
And might be looking to hook him up. Pile driver!
Texas style.
A move banned in WWE later
Benoit will
on.
cross the ropes, though, and
Well, this is
Benoit
WCW, but-
finds a way to force the break. Benoit smart enough to know that he was in trouble as the move was executed on him, and Brett slid up on the cover and unable to realize where Benoit's position was.
Having to drag Benoit's weight off the canvas because Benoit's pretty much out at this point.
Hard Irish with torso first into the turnbuckles. Once again, hooking up Benoit. Benoit up and over. Lands on his feet, though. Daughter knife
Man.
and shop.
I think the ring shifted a few centimeters there.
Oh no, Emmanuel. Emmanuel, no.
Endurance and fatigue has to play a factor here when it comes to both his incredible athletes' conditioning. Hard Irish whip again. Benoit looking to follow in. Brett gets the boot up, though. Creates separation. Follows him with the clothesline. Brett able to hook him up. Full Nelson attempt. Transition. German suplex.
Uh-oh.
And maintains waist control.
This
That's
is
two.
two. Benoit looking for the hat trick here.
Great block, though, by the Hitman, though. Back elbow strikes, force the break. Clement shot to the back of the head. Again, the shots you don't see are always the worst because you don't know how to scout them or counter them, let alone take them. Back elbow strike, miss. Benoit trying again. Front face lock, though, by Brett. Both these men right now fighting and jogging for control. Benoit down.
So would that move be called Dry Fronde? Because that's three amigos in German. That's literally how you say three amigos in German. And there's a German suplexes. Yeah.
Ah, there you go.
Nice heel trip, though, by Brett. Once again, trying to change position.
You know, something tells me that either Gunther or Ludwig should actually adopt it and call it that.
And Brett right now finding his footing, trapping the legs. Can he turn Benoit over? Looking for the sharpshooter.
Got his legs in
the got it.
Position.
He's got a lot in the middle of the ring. And Benoit gave up. Benoit gave up. There's the tap.
And Benoit will go on to use that sharpshooter as a signature move of his.
Yeah, he did, didn't he?
Exactly.
I forgot that was a move of his. It was during his world title run, too, because he never used it any other time other than that time, I think.
And the last time he used it was against Randy Orton, and when Randy Orton became champion. Great pure technical clinic, though. Hard-fought bout between Chris Benoit and Bret the Hitman Hart here. Owen, be proud.
Brett always did it the best. Of course, he had your legs in the right position. The reason it's called the sharpshooter is because your legs are in the shape of looking at you through a rifle's scope, and that's why it's called sharpshooter. That's what your legs end up looking like.
I will say the only person that's perfected it since is Daniel Garcia, because he's got that, and then he's able to lean back with it. Like,
yeah, he wrenches forward and turns it into Red Death.
It's fucking disgusting. Like, it looks like
both men embracing in the middle of the ring.
They know what they did, JJ. They know what they did here.
Of course.
Of course.
The long-term respect of these two incredible in-ring technicians goes far above and beyond what you saw tonight at WCW Nitro. Fans on their feet, and rightfully so, showing their respect to Owen Hart and both these men.
A few months later, less than a year later, Benoit would jump ship with the Radicals over to WWE because that happened right at 99, 2000.
Yeah,
well, you figure about a month later at the Mayhem pay-per-view, I believe it was Brett versus Benoit in the finals to determine WCW champion, and Brett won it there.
Yep. And by the way, after the NWO,
so this match was so good for them that they went ahead and ran it back like a month later, and now they're outside the ring with Harley Race again.
I mean, yeah, again, you see the signs. We miss you, Owen. Long live Owen. I mean, you look at Benoit and Brett, it's up there with the likes of Kurt Angle and AJ Styles.
Oh, yeah.
Really.
Go ahead, James. You were going to say something?
I was just going to say, too, Benoit, right after Brett had to drop the belt, too, they gave it to Benoit to try and get him to stay. So he actually is a former world champion by the end of his run here in WCW.
There you see a better camera angle, by the way. Up the tap up by Chris Benoit, clear as day to the sharpshooter, unable to sustain the pain. No escape there. As Bret the Hitman Hart triumphant tonight in this tribute match.
Brett, one of the few people that can actually make Benoit actually tap.
Yeah, think about that, by the way. When you really think about technicians of the ring, it is something really special to achieve to get them to submit versus pin them. An accolade that Bryan Danielson was unable to do against the likes of Zack Sabre Jr.
Hey, man, look at that. Kurt Angle. He actually got Stone Cold, even though he was reaching under the rope. He got Stone Cold Steve Austin, a man you never see tap to tap.
True that.
And as this retro watch along event comes to a conclusion for the Regular Wrestling, JJ Williams, for Walter, and for the producer tonight, James Hebert, I'm the Seminole Foster saying, long live Owen.
Absolutely. I'd like to take a moment here again to thank everybody that's joined us for the last couple nights. I know it was a somber celebration, if you will, but as it was the 25th anniversary of this tragedy, we here at the Multiverse of Media just felt that it was only right to pay our respect and to relive this. Again, like I said last night, it's kind of like the slogan that exists now for 9/11, never forget.
Always
Mhm.
remember.
You never want to forget what happened here and the tragedy and everything that occurred. And I'd like to thank Jeff for allowing us to do this across the Multiverse of Media,
Yes.
even though he was not here for either of the shows, allowing us to broadcast this across the multiverse that he has cultivated for everybody.
Hmm.
I want to thank James for setting up the private Discord and streaming this to the viewers that chose to super chat and watch along with us. Man, I know you've got a lot of stuff you should be doing for your uncle's documentary,
Yep.
but you took this roughly 6 hours out of 2 days to hook this up for us, and we do greatly appreciate it. Walter, again, I want to thank you for coming in and being here with me and for me when I thought I wasn't going to be here today. And then Noah, there's a reason that you're called the MVP of the Multiverse of Media, man. This was a hard thing to do a watch along for, and you handled it with the grace that you always do, my brother. It's been an honor and a pleasure, and I look forward to tomorrow morning, afternoon for you East Coasters, as we get ready to get into the King and Queen of the Rain. And again, what a fitting way to extend this tribute, as he was the King of Hearts.
Exactly.
Hmm.
So the winner of the 94 King of the Rain tournament. And here we are 30 years later.
Yeah.
I'm still pissed that Natty got eliminated first round. She should have won it on the 30th anniversary of his King of the Rain run. Brett was a King of the Rain. Owen was a King of the Rain. Natty should have been a Queen of the Rain. God damn it.
Yeah.
Accurate.
Yeah.
I'm just saying they done messed up already there.
At the very least, in the semis, I don't know why they just continue to stiff her, man.
Yeah, she should at least won
Well,
the very first.
to be fair, she's been doing a lot more in NXT with the Lola Vice angle. So to a certain degree, I get it. But like,
Still.
Come on.
this would have been a great opportunity for her. 25 years since Owen's passing, literally 2 days before the tournament ends. 30 years since Owen won the tournament. Like, another Hart getting the crown 30 years later just would have been beautiful.
Especially that bullcrap of
But
the Saudi Arabia show.
I don't know if they thought about it, if they even realized it. There's been so much to transpire in the WWE in the last 25, 30 years that it may
Right.
not have even been on Triple H's radar.
Radar.
Right,
Sometimes they
yeah.
just don't notice stuff. You think about the streak; they didn't realize it until he was like 10-0. Like, holy shit! Wait,
Yeah.
he's got a streak.
And some stuff is flies underneath the butt.
So it just kind of is what it is, man. But I'm looking forward. I am literally going to go to sleep here in these next 20 minutes
Same.
so that my ass can be up at 7 o'clock in the morning, 10 o'clock for you East Coasters. I can get a shower in, because as soon as we sign off for King of the Queen of the Ring, I got to go down to my car, get in it, and go to work and work the 9 to 5.
Ugh.
And it's a very real possibility that I will not be there for open mic night, at least not until very, very late, if y'all are still going on. Jeff has said that he will host it, he will run it, so there will still be open mic night shenanigans. Not sure what will be discussed, but make sure y'all tune in for that with Jeff hosting and moderating, and I will be there as soon as I can. I'm not going to rush it. I know you don't even have to say priorities over passions. I know, Noah. And especially now that I've got a back brace that I can try to hopefully get me through the full shift, because my almost 50-year-old body is not used to what I did tonight.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yesterday was a little easier because it was a morning shift. we weren't as slammed. But a Friday night and tomorrow's a Saturday night, man, I was not ready.
Weekends are the worst in a restaurant business.
I know.
Especially during a holiday weekend.
Oh,
Mhm.
fuck.
Especially considering this is graduation week also.
That
Oh,
too.
man. Oh, man.
Celebration weekend.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, good luck. Whew.
So may the force be with me, but as soon as we sign off tomorrow, I have to be in the car and on the way there because I clock in at 2 o'clock Pacific, 5 o'clock Eastern. You probably figure King Queen of the Ring is going to end at 1 o'clock, 4 o'clock Eastern. So I'm going to have literally like an hour to get out of here and get there.
Exactly.
Thankfully, it's just down the street, so it's not going to take that long, but still.
Oh, you
Not going to
lucked out
give
with
me
that.
time to like shower or anything.
Yeah, you don't take
between,
that
so.
for granted. Period.
Yeah,
No.
that's
That's the
lucky for
theme of
you.
these last 2 days is you do not take anything for granted
Hey,
Damn
my,
right.
because you never know when it'll be the last opportunity for anything.
JJ, my wife literally lived a 5-minute walk to school and still find a way to be late. So you just never know.
No, trust me, I do know that shit happens. There's
Oh,
literally
Jesus.
2 traffic lights between where I live and where I'm going. So, I mean, it does happen, especially the weekend. You figure that the restaurant is around a mall, so there's mall
Oh,
traffic.
no.
It's right by a freeway off ramp, so there's freeway traffic. Like there's definitely shit that can make it, convoluted and, but
The
I
U.S.
still have
road
an
system is what you
Back
mean.
but
in
I
it's just
still have an
California.
hour to get there, so I've got plenty of time.
There
So you
go.
mean the U.S. road system, JJ? Is basically what you're saying.
I've got to
The
say,
California road system.
Yeah,
Oh,
they
yeah,
did
well,
it.
Yeah.
I gotta say that was the only one good. If you could look at things positive, the one good thing about the pandemic, I was in California. You got to ride the 405 at any time, and there was like no one out. You was like, holy
For
shit, I
real.
can actually drive on the 405.
For
Yeah,
real,
that's
for real.
crazy.
The great thing about the pandemic is that we actually got to see the fucking pollution in the sky clear up because there were less cars on the road.
There's less
Yep,
smog in
yep.
the air.
Yeah,
Legit.
I
Yeah,
know, I
same
get
in
it.
Boston, bro.
I know all about the air pollution issues in California. You don't have to tell me dooley squat.
Dude, friggin' it was the same in Boston, dude, and it was crazy that there was barely anybody on the road. It was nuts. Real quick, I just want to say, ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed this shenanigans Saturday, you see the little graphics. Saturday, 12 p.m. It's going to be King Queen of the Ring, and then
Actually,
Sunday.
it's probably going to be 11
Oh, yeah,
a.m.,
11.
8 a.m.
Sorry.
because WWE decided to fuck us over and make a 2-hour pre-show.
We've
course,
only
they
got
throw
one match
wrenches
for
at
it, which
us.
is going to happen during the last hour, just like they did down under in Australia with the same tag team that's going to lose for the titles. That being absolutely jack dit shit. But that being said, when they do that, I will be doing Simply Predicting King and Queen of the Ring, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7:30 a.m. Pacific Time, as Emmanuel alluded to. So if y'all want to hear a bunch of other people that you probably can relate to more than the Yahoo's not named Kayla Braxton, then check out City Predicting here at Cascading Studios and the Simple Man's brand ahead of King and Queen of the Ring live watch event coverage with me, JJ, and Walter.
And following that, we'll have open mic night, standard shenanigans hosted by Jeff.
Actually, after King Queen of the Ring, you'll have Simply Predicting for Double or Nothing.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
At 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, folks. And feel free to drop by that. Let your thoughts be know about everything from the Young Bucks to the Learning Tree to Timeless Tony Storm to the All Elite Bruv to, of course, the Virtuoso Diablo and the Mara Thunderella.
You had to go there. You had to mention the Young Bucks. Don't make me go off. No, I'm just kidding. That's from the intro.
You will be proud of me, sir. On the no DQ predictions, I went timeless to black and white for the Tony Storm match.
You sure did. I knew he was doing it.
And then ask Walter, I was not kind to the Young Bucks.
Not
I can only imagine.
I saw that.
Aaron Rift actually allowed me to drop the F-bomb, so I called him a couple of putrid fucks.
Dude,
Yeah,
that
I had
was
to.
During my
To be
rant.
fair, I had to let you do it.
Bury them softly, brother. Actually,
Rift
don't bury them
gave me
softly.
the ability to use the one F-bomb for the show, so
That was the best use of it.
Wow.
I will say, I will be on there and I will give my own rant. So there you go. That's something you can look forward
Oh
to on
boy,
Simply
James is back on
Predicting.
Simply Predicting. Now I know this video is going to be a party before a collision. Saturday. Ah.
Saturday.
I might have to snip my rant and send it to you just so you can run my rant when you get to that.
I would
match.
be
I've seen your
absolutely
rant.
obliged
I've
to.
seen the
No,
putrid
I'm
fucks
talking
rant.
to Noah so that he could actually see the rant.
Oh, I could send it.
Yeah, the
I'll
hardest
separately
part
send
for
it.
JJ was to decide where to place the F-bomb.
Yeah. Not that I
Yeah.
was going to use it on them because everyone knows how I feel about them, but where I was going to put it.
Fair enough. Yeah, give me the clip and I will run it as soon as I introduce the anarchy in the arena.
Well, right
But
after the
again-
Simply Predicting thing,
Yes.
real quick. Then we have open mic night, and then
Yeah.
following that, the next day is the Double or Nothing coverage, 6 p.m. EST. And
With me and James.
yes, so
How they
there you
run
go.
those.
Thank you, 26.2 miles outside parts unknown.
Although, let's be honest, anarchy, everybody's going to be on drinking and freaking roasting it because shit's about to hit the fan.
Yeah, I called them Rod and Todd Flanders teaming up with Millhouse and Ralph Wiggum.
Yeah,
Dude.
it was hilarious.
That's the elite.
Yeah.
That's
You know what?
It hurts me that you do that to Okada, but I can.
Yeah,
And
I must
Okada
say-
is Millhouse because at least Millhouse is tolerable.
You guys
Yeah.
thought I talk a lot. You got to see this guy experience. Sheesh.
Did
But
I
anyways,
absolutely
thank you
hate it.
everybody for watching. We hope everyone will tune in for everything we've got going on tomorrow. We hope
Yes.
everyone will tune in for Double or Nothing. I don't work Sunday, so I will be around for most of Double or Nothing. I may not be there right at 3 o'clock
Okay.
because I actually got to do the Uber Eats gig a little bit, but I'll probably be here by around 4 or 5 o'clock Pacific, so
So,
7 or 8
we'll have-
Eastern.
It just occurred to me,
We'll have
you
to-
have 3 jobs now, don't you?
Yeah, I know.
God bless you.
Jesus.
Because
JJ
I
and
have the podcasting.
Yeah.
I have the podcasting here,
Yeah.
which I'm so close to hitting the payout threshold again for this month.
Right.
I think I'm only about like $10 away once the $5 super chat gets factored in. So I
Right.
can keep my streak of getting paid off every month since I got monetized.
Do it, folks.
Then I've got Uber Eats, and then I've got BJ's restaurant.
Do it, folks.
Man,
Do
if
it.
if you
JJ
count-
and I are going to be the timeless commentary duo in black and white during Tony
If-
Starr's match.
man, if you
Oh, I
count
just realized-
streaming as a job for me, then I got 4. Shit.
Yeah, hey, listen, it's funny that JJ works at a place called BJ's Restaurant after he watched an Al Snow match.
Well,
Oh.
the other
You do the math
funny
on that
thing is
one.
the other funny thing is that Cece, before she moved out here to California, worked for a BJ's, but it was more like a Costco. It was one of those warehouse type
Restaurant.
stores.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, she worked for like a warehouse store, like a Costco, a Sam's Club. It was called BJ's,
The grocery
and I
store.
worked
Yeah,
for
yeah.
the restaurant BJ's. So
Mm.
we've both been employed by BJ's corporations now.
That's
There you go.
interesting.
I'm surprised there's a Costco in the U.S., but anyway, we're rambling. We should
So
wrap
this
this
is,
Yes,
up.
what,
I'm
this is
tired.
what happens with us, as always. All the wrestling, all the chatting, all the camaraderie, all the family. Damn it.
Exactly. And again, you know, that's what these last 2 days were about, is being thankful for what you've got.
Mm-hmm.
And I can speak for everybody in the Multiverse of Media team. We are all thankful for each other, and we're thankful for you, the viewers, for tuning in. Noah, take us out of here as you always do.
Owen lives forever. And again, folks, we love doing this for you all. Thank you for being along with us for the ride. We're always all in this together. At the end of the day, folks, you know what I am. I am nothing more but a simple man and a lifelong fan of professional wrestling, damn it, who is only here to wish and encourage you and remind you that there are no winners, there are no losers, there are no betters, just fans with opinions with this passion we all share. At the end of the day, folks, support one another, respect each other, protect your mentality too, treasure your families, and just enjoy life and enjoy professional wrestling. It is truly as simple as that.
Good night, everybody.
Have a good night.
The Jeff Meacham Network's Multiverse of Media. For over 15 years, the recognized symbol of excellence and the standard bearer in coverage of sports and entertainment.